Football season is weird because we actually look forward to Mondays. It's Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Now launching. The dumbest radio show in America. Welcome to Common Man and T-Bone.
I think this speaks a lot to everything that everyone has known about you who's listened to this show for a long time. It tells so much, right? Where it's like, do you like cartoons? Like, no, it's fake, and they're goofing around. Like, get real people having real problems. And it's like, what about the Harlem Globetrotters? Like, they're having fun. Stop it.
Featuring Panama Ted.
Too hot.
Timmy Hall.
I will rub one on my face.
And a collection of profane noises.
Coach?
No, Dom.
I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
I want me some glory hole.
Oh, keep it in the room. Stop breathing.
It used to be a lot longer.
The numbers don't lie. Bah! Bah!
This is Stupid. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. Reaction Monday. Timmy's here. Teddy's here. I got a feeling today, Teddy.
What's the feeling?
You have that feeling?
Gassy feeling?
That.
Yeah, me too.
And this could be one of them today.
No, it's not eligible.
I don't think so.
No.
I can pretty much guarantee you that it won't be.
Well, it is a Yikes Monday. Jayson's beef at 5:34. Buckeyes beat Iowa 35-7. So it's officially Oregon week. Buckeyes open as 3.5-point favorites. No shocker. I saw that game day will be in Eugene for this game. So all the traveling Buckeye fans can give Herbie a hug for me. I saw this stat, too, and then we'll talk about the Iowa game in a second. Ohio State is 40-19 in games that game day has come to their location.
That's a lot of game days.
Either here or on the road.
It's a lot of game days, isn't it?
Are you impressed by that or sort of surprised that they've lost 19 times?
I think that's a pretty good number. 40-19.
40-19.
These are always going to be big-time matchups, and they're
In
not
theory.
all of them at the shoe either.
Right.
A lot of these are going to be very difficult big-time road games. I think that's a nice mark.
All right. Buckeyes beat Iowa 35-7. Look, another slowish first half. They kick things into gear in the second half. I've said this for weeks now. I'd like to see them come out and put the pedal to the metal and go. Not have to go back in the second half and wear out teams that just don't have the depth that you have. However, you're taking care of business. You are playing clean football. We had one penalty all game long. This defense continues to be opportunistic with turnovers. I think if you don't have that early fumble by this piece of crap freshman, Jeremiah Smith, I mean, what a piece of garbage he is.
What a bum. Get
Just
him out of there.
Bring him back. Send him back to high school.
My goodness.
You probably score on that drive, too. Look, I'm not down on this performance. We've seen chaos in college football, right? Buckeyes are avoiding the chaos. They're beating the teams they should beat. By margins, they should beat them. And now they're getting ready for their best, most important week so far of the year after playing their cleanest football game, at least in terms of penalty-wise.
Where are you, though, with the way the quarterback is playing? Because there's two sides to this coin. Will Howard, if you are just walking into this and you're looking at the numbers and you mentioned the second half counts, right? Like I'm kind of with you on wanting this team to start fast. I'm sure every single one of the coaches there wants to start faster and score on the first couple of drives to get those good feelings, those good vibes going. But football doesn't always shake that way. And at least they are proven to be a really good third quarter team, and they regroup and make those second half adjustments, and they come out really well. But 2 games in a row now, there was an interception from Will Howard, and then I thought there was at least one other throw that very easily could have been an interception. Do you remember that sideline throw? Actually went to Bryson Rodgers, of all guys.
Yeah.
It did not look like a ball you could throw, where he was kind of flat-footed. Ball had to sail all the way to the far sideline. 2 defenders were there, and somehow it just went right in there, and Rodgers made a nice play. They actually gave him the first down when I thought he was clearly short, and they actually gave him the first down after a review when he was marked short on the field. So I was shocked by that. And then the interception that did occur. So we go back to Michigan State. the pick that he had was a really bad pick, and he also had one that should have been intercepted in the end zone that Michigan State's defensive back just dropped. So I'm not going to use the word skeptical. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how Will Howard is going to perform when you go on the road now. 2 conference games. There have been a couple of blemishes on his passing sheet now in conference play, and now it's about to get a whole lot harder on the road at Oregon.
I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, and I hear from some of you that are already convinced that Will Howard is great. I'd love Will Howard to be great. I think he's capable of being great. But if you think he's great now, then you're lying to yourself, because we don't know. We know that Will Howard has the finest collection of weapons around him in college football. We know that there are great individuals on this offense. We still don't know on a key 3rd down and 6 what type of play in the second half.
When you're down by 10,
I'm not talking about a second quarter possession.
Yeah.
Right? In the second half, on a key 3rd down and 6, can Will Howard give you what he needs to give you? Can you count on Will Howard not to panic in those moments where he is pressured? And guess what? Best offensive lines in the country are going to allow pressure. You're going to not pick up a blitz once in a while. It doesn't mean you can just panic and throw the ball up every single time that happens. Say, well, if you just protected him better. That's what the Deshaun Watson apologists, all 5 of them, tell you all the time. Oh, pressure in his face. Okay, you can still make better decisions with pressure in your face. And I don't think we know what Will Howard is made of. And look, I don't have to convince Buckeye fans of this. Playing football at Kansas State and playing football at Ohio State are 2 different things.
Absolutely.
Completely different things.
Absolutely. You're playing here in a pressure cooker where the demand is to win every single game. And look, they've done that so far. This is, don't think you jumped on the show here and the Buckeyes beat Iowa 35-7. I'm not ragging on the guy. I'm just merely bringing things up.
We're thinking about this game that's coming up on Saturday.
It's a bigger game, and I am more curious about this game at Oregon than I was a couple weeks ago, because I think the Ducks have started to settle in. I think they look like a little bit more of a complete football team, and clearly they've got some good quarterback play with Dylan Gabriel. I think I heard he's 3rd all-time now. He's been playing college football for a long time, but 3rd all-time in touchdown passes. This guy can absolutely light it up, and Will has had a couple of those throws, and I do that saying he was 21 of 25, right? He was 21 of 25 against Iowa. He barely had any incomplete passes, but he did have a pick, and it was just like you talked about. It was just one of those where he knows this. I at least appreciate when Will Howard steps up to the podium. He seems to understand where his mistakes are, what he did, and why he can't do it. So now it's just going to be, does he implement those? Now that it's a bigger game against Oregon, you probably can't afford those. This is the type of game where you lose the turnover battle, you more than likely lose the football game. They're what, a 3.5-point favorite?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And again, I think this feels more like a toss-up kind of a football game at this point. I know some people will disagree with that, with the talent that they see that Ohio State has, but talent is great. But then you have to play close to perfect football games like this. You have to play a complete team game. And to your point, you're right. Will Howard was 21 of 25. He barely had any incompletions. You're out of your mind if you don't think a lot of that is because of the talent at this wide receiver group. I mean, we saw another ridiculous catch, right, by a true freshman in Jeremiah Smith. We saw Emeka Ibuka get in the end zone 3 times. And all 3 of those catches, and those were good throws.
They were good throws,
I thought the second one, you can analyze all 3 of them. They were all contested, and I love the throws where you can have the debate, throw or catch, like which was better, the catch or the throw. I thought a couple of them, the catch was maybe the best part of it because they were in traffic, and it was an insanely talented wide receiver who's now maybe being a little bit overshadowed by someone like Jeremiah Smith. But that second ball, corner of the end zone, I thought Will did and this is where he shows you the good, right? It's where he shows you that high-end capability is there. It's just a matter of will he go the entire game without having that one slip-up that could be very costly.
I said this last week. I can deal with some misses. If you're going to undershoot a guy, if you're going to be late on a timing route, I can live with that. I can't live with the bad mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So as you go on the road getting ready to play this game, you can't have the bad mistakes. Now, I contend that I'm still more comfortable with a guy like Will Howard running this offense than Gomer Pyle, who's now in Syracuse.
I'm 100% with you.
I say that because a lot of people see like his numbers he's put up so far this season, and they're very good numbers, and they love him in Syracuse. Whatever, he's having relations with the Orange up there. But I think the extra dimension of Will Howard being able to run the football in big-time games is going to make all the difference in the world.
He's shown you now a couple times how he's going to find the end zone with his wheels. He's shown you in the read option game how he can make some good decisions, tuck the ball and run, put his cleat in the ground, and, get north real quick. He's got the big body, right? That's something that
he's hard to bring down.
He's hard to bring down. He can bounce off of some guys, and when he gets a full head of steam, it does have that Josh Allen look to it, where he can put his shoulder into you and fall forward for a yard or two, and that matters a lot. If it's like you said, could be one of those 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 6 plays where he makes a decision and they're looking to run the ball and he sees an opening and he goes, whether it's scrambling or whether it's a designed run. I like what we see from that regard.
Here's how things work on Mondays, Reaction Mondays. A lot of Buckeye talk, a lot of college football in the first hour of the show. 4 o'clock hour, Brownies, Bengals, NFL. 5 o'clock hour, a little mix of everything. A flavorful broth, a bouillabaisse. New polls are out. I'll tell you about them coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should watch out for an accident that's on southbound 71's off-ramp to eastbound 70, and that's on the north side. The left lane is blocked on the ramp. And we also have a delay due to an accident that's on Morse Road at Cherry Bottom Road. This report is sponsored by Z-Bart. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bart undercoating from $2.99 and fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with a Rhino Lining spray-on bed liner starting at $4.99. Z-Bart, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip to a postseason game, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
Scotty Vegas for Maxima Concrete. They redid my whole driveway, but they can do so much more, like outdoor kitchens, pools, patios, you name it. Mention this ad for $250 off your next project with Maxima Concrete and visit maximaconcrete.com.
When life is on hold due to a painful injury or condition, every day counts. Start the path to recovery now with Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts. Start with orthopedic1.com.
You reach James. Leave a message.
Hey, it's Annie from Chase. Congrats again on the new home to you, Alina, and baby Maya. So happy she gets a big new nursery.
House hunting? On average, home buyers save more in mortgage fees with Chase compared to a non-bank. We're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/wayhome. Source, 2022 Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. Loan application register. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Just got a free coffee with my Earnify points.
Your what?
The points I get with the new Earnify app from BP and Amoco. I got $250 for signing up and more every time I fill up or buy anything in the C-store.
Oh, can you use points for fuel?
Of course.
And discounts and deals?
On anything.
Oh, like chips?
Mm-hmm.
Sodas?
You got it.
The actual slushy machine.
Only what's actually for sale. But you do get double the points for the first 90 days. Just go to earnifyrewards.com to download the app.
Available at participating locations only. App content is subject to change.
The fall holiday weekend is just around the corner. It's the perfect time to dare to compare at Bob's Discount Furniture. You've seen the action. You've felt the suspense. You've saved hundreds, even thousands of dollars on highly rated furniture, mattresses, and more. America loves it so much that Bob's is opening 2 new stores on October 11th, just in time for the holiday weekend. See how much you can save when you dare to compare in store or at mybobs.com.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
Combat falling interest rates now. Lock in a 7-month certificate from Kemba Financial Credit Union and earn up to 4.75% annual percentage yield. Visit Kemba.org for details. Hurry! This exceptional rate offer expires December 31st, 2024. APY equals annual percentage yield. Restrictions apply. $500 minimum deposit required to open and earn stated APY and $250,000 maximum deposit. Advantage status required. Federally insured by NCUA.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save on Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef. It's perfect for burgers and more. 3-pound packages are on sale for $2.99 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled. He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here. Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for? It's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Lots of sunshine, high 67. You'll need a sweater or jacket tonight. The low will be 43. Sunny again tomorrow with a high of 69. Sunshine on Wednesday, slightly warmer with a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
No Desmond Howard death wishes since 2012. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Timmy's here. Teddy's here. It's also a Yikes Monday. And Jason's beef. At 5:34, Terry Francona officially introduced today. We'll talk to Jayson about that.
Yeah.
You excited about it, Teddy?
My guy, Tito. Not our Tito, but...
No, God.
Well, God, how would you be that excited about Jeff Tito Thidoff?
Yeah,
we'll come back and check on you if you were doing backflips over him.
I remember this was many years ago. I was hosting with Tito, Jeff Thidoff, and it was right when Major League Baseball, like the first season, they implemented instant replay in Major League Baseball.
Oh, boy.
And Tito wanted there to be some sort of more creative challenge system. Like he didn't just like the manager looking at the umpire saying, yeah, look at that. He wanted throw something on the field like they have in the NFL.
Like
they throw a red flag.
Like a red flag, yeah.
Sure. So he suggested that the manager should throw a little person onto the field. Except he used the M word, which is not appropriate. But
he did it.
That was
but he said it.
That was his idea to throw a dwarf onto the field. And then String Bean, who was the boss at the time, comes down during the commercial break and didn't object to using a little person as a human prop.
Yeah, throwing a human.
He objected to the use of the M word and said, you can't call them that. How about just throwing them on the field? Are you okay with that?
That is not.
He's fine with that.
That is not the point. The point is
use
you can't
the correct
say
language.
That
right.
There's something wrong with him.
New
with
polls.
Both of them.
New polls are out. Texas #1 in the AP, up to #1. Ohio State up to #2, up a spot.
9 first place votes.
That's right. Texas got 52. Ohio State got 9. Oregon is up 3 spots to 3. Penn State, more on them in a second, up 4 spots up 3 spots, to 4.
No first place votes for anybody else.
Right. Georgia stays at 5. Miami up 2 spots to 6. Alabama down 6 spots to 7. They were the number 1 team in the country last week. Tennessee down 4 spots to 8. Ole Miss up 3 spots to 9. And Clemson back from the dead, up 5 spots to number 10. Elsewhere, Big Ten teams. Indiana up 5 spots to 18. Illinois is up a spot to 23. And Meat Chicken is down 14 spots to 24. That's a shame. You
got a big gap there in between your Big Ten goodness here.
This is the time of year. And look, we'll talk about the upsets that we had on Saturday, but we're starting to see teams that I think have no business being ranked above other teams simply because they've played the survival game so far and they haven't lost. Like, can you honestly tell me? That looks good for the conference, I guess.
Yeah, you're talking about Penn State,
right?
aren't
Can you honestly tell me that Penn State is the 4th best team in the country? I know that everybody's down in Alabama. They just lost this weekend, and rightfully so. If Penn State played Alabama right now, in Happy Valley, I'll give it to you in Happy Valley.
In a whiteout, pick.
What's the score of that game?
Yeah.
They win by 20.
Yeah, Bama's winning that game.
And again, I'm not saying Penn State should, but we get so caught up in this numbers game. It doesn't matter. What matters is you win the games you have to win. Alabama didn't on Saturday. Penn State did. That's why they're the 4th team in the country on paper.
However, I agree with you, but I also would have to say if you lose to Vanderbilt, there should be some sort of automatic qualifier where you have to go outside the top 20.
I don't disagree.
They should put them at 21, and then they want to catapult them, 15 spots back up when they win the next week. Vanderbilt was 0-60.
Look.
0-60.
We can't play
top 5s, and they got it done.
We can't play the game where we know for sure what would have happened. And Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. That's why he got the job. But Nick Saban was always that huge stick in the mud, pain in the ass. Where they come off that huge victory, they knock off Georgia, right? They're feeling good about themselves in front of the home crowd. They survived that game, got up to a big lead, wound up taking care of business, beat the number 1 team in the country, and then you turn around the next week and you go play Vanderbilt. And everybody knows on that Alabama team what Vanderbilt is. And they know that same stat, that they've never beaten the top team in the country, right? Nick Saban would have had his guys feeling like crap all week. They'd be going back to the dorm saying, does Coach know that we just beat the number 1 team in the country? Because he'd be riding their ass all week trying to avoid the letdown game.
And look,
if Nick Saban's the coach, they don't lose that game.
I agree with you. That's not a game that they would ever lose because Nick Saban never lost a game to one of those doormats in the SEC. What was the one loss that he had since he got Alabama fully operational, which was only 1 or 2 years into his tenure there? But it was in 2021 when they had that same weekend almost, early October game, but it was on the road, and it was at least at Texas A&M. Texas A&M was not ranked, but still, I mean, come on. If we're going to...
It's not losing at Vanderbilt. It's not the same thing.
We could joke about A&M, how Jimbo Fisher didn't get them to what they were supposed to be. He didn't live up to his contract. Ross Bjork is our guy, right? That had a hand in that, and he's here at Ohio State now. But come on, that was at least Texas A&M. This is not a game that they lose. I completely agree with you, and you should have to drop a long way. USC... They went from 11 to unranked.
Good.
11 to unranked.
Because they suck.
Yeah, they lost to Minnesota.
You lost to Michigan.
You lost to Minnesota.
You lost to Minnesota. Welcome to the Big Ten. Welcome to relevance, I guess, Lincoln Riley. Where Lincoln Riley's in the postgame press conference instructing his players not to answer certain questions.
That's ridiculous.
How about you answer the questions?
Yeah. Why don't you just...
Why can't you win a game when someone's looking at you? How about that?
Why don't you just understand that this was one of the easier games that you were going to have laid out for you, and wait till you have to go on the road to Ohio State. Wait till you have to go on the road to Penn State.
If the night atmosphere in Minneapolis is too much for him, this Gopher team that was 2-3, that's too much for you, then I don't know what type of result you're looking for in the Big Ten.
There really hasn't been a bigger hot shot up-and-coming coach to just fall flat.
So far.
Am I right?
So far.
I mean, he was all the rave, leaving Oklahoma and taking Caleb Williams with him. he was going to be the new bad boy in town, right? Just bringing that Pete Carroll style of USC football back to L.A., and it's just been nothing. I mean, how many games they lose last year?
Well, and that was the knock on.
5-loss team? Come on.
That was the knock on Caleb Williams, which then just became the knock on Lincoln Riley, where all the pro, scouts and coaches would watch the film and say, there's nothing wrong with this guy. His head coach is just an idiot. So we're going to take him first overall anyway.
Yeah, and that's what the Bears did. The Bears are, look, he hasn't had the start that Jaden Daniels has had.
Come on, look at you over there.
He's not.
You got your Commander's shirt on today?
Not as good as the guy that got passed over at 2 overall, but hey, I'm fine with that.
What else was I going to tell you? Oh, that's it for the top 25. Hell with them.
Yeah, good for Indiana.
Tennessee loses to Arkansas. A lot of people fancied Tennessee winning the whole thing. They still could. This 12-team playoff, but that was a bad loss at Arkansas. Miami, with a big comeback to beat Cal, looked like they were going to lose that game late night on Saturday.
Oh, but they got some help from the refs again. Miami did. You want to talk about a fraud and a team that's undefeated, but I don't think belongs up there. They got some decent quarterback play, but otherwise, no. Miami is not good enough to go the distance.
Mizzou was a top 10 hillbilly SEC team. They went to A&M. They were completely and totally dominated for the entire game. That was not even close.
41-10.
Washington takes care of Michigan. Huskies jumped out to the lead. Michigan stormed back, and then it was Huskies again once they woke up. And then we talked about USC losing to Minnesota. A lot of chaos. Chaos.
Well,
in college football this past weekend.
Michigan, in that game, turned to Jack Tuttle. Jack Tuttle.
You had to.
He's a 6-year quarterback that is now averaging about 1 touchdown pass per year. A journeyman, a career backup. That is the Michigan quarterback. But I'm sure he's not going to keep the job going into this week.
You
but
watch that game. Orji is not a quarterback. He's like a running back taking snaps under center.
He cannot do it.
He can't pass.
He cannot do the job.
They needed some threat of throwing the ball.
And whether that's going back to Warren or if they really are going to go with Jack Tuttle, I'm curious to see what they do. But it's bad this year.
They have no clue. They can't throw the football. We'll talk more about Michigan coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to run into some slowdown due to an accident that's on the right shoulder of northbound 270 on the East Outer Belt at Easton Way. And we have a couple-minute delay on eastbound 70 downtown between the 71 East and West split. This report is sponsored by LifeLock, October's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. One way to help protect yourself is updating your passwords. Using the same one for multiple accounts can make you vulnerable to cyber criminals. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. Start a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com/cybersafety. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit njm.com for a quote.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan, like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at tire discounters for all services, even for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire discounters technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as tire discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye.
No,
Adios.
but-
Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Right now, save up to $250 on Cooper tires, and shocks and struts are buy 3, get 1 free.
Dick from Dayton says, listen to the Ryan Day Show. Paul Keels and Jim Lachey join Coach every Thursday from noon to 1.
Presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan.
Listen to Sherrod Brown. When he wanted your vote.
On major issues, I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
But Sherrod Brown doesn't stand up to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He votes with them 97% of the time. Brown supported Biden and Harris on radical issues like amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. Brown voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID stimulus checks to convicted criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. And Brown voted to give taxpayer-funded health care to illegals who get amnesty and Social Security benefits, too. So the next time Sherrod Brown tells you,
I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
Ignore it, because 31 years in Washington has changed Sherrod Brown. He's not for us anymore, and he's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americancrossroads.org.
Ready to hit the road in a new car? With Pathways, enjoy up to 90 days with no payments and low auto loan rates. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
It's never too soon to get a jump on your holiday shopping, especially at Meijer. Start saving this week with our earliest holiday deals and get over 40% off on items like Mr. Coffee Coffee Maker or SodaStream Terra Machine. Start checking off your list and get 20% off on select toys like Nerf and Series Dart Blasters, Play-Doh play sets, and assorted puzzles. Shop even more great gift ideas like these in the Meijer Holiday Gift Guide. Available on Meijer.com, in-store, or in the Meijer app. Exclusions apply.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The only thing harder than common man's arteries is T-Bone thinking about a red-bellied woodpecker. This is Man and Bone.
Timmy's here. Teddy's here. It's Reaction Monday. Are you looking for tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at the Shoe? The Fan is giving away tickets to the biggest Jackets fans. Here's how you can win a pair to the big game. Go to 971thefan.com. Describe what makes you the biggest fan and upload pictures, preferably nudes. The top 10 biggest fans, as decided by the Fan Selection Panel, whoever the hell that is, win a pair of tickets to the game. Must be entered by 11:59 p.m. on October 13th. The game is Saturday, March 1st at the Horseshoe. Jackets battle the Red Wings. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or in the Ticketmaster app.
That's awesome. Are you going to be on this panel?
I have no idea. I wasn't asked.
Maybe the panel hasn't been selected yet.
Maybe the panel is just fish in his office.
We're waiting for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I do think is going to happen this week? I think I'm going to formally apply for the open news anchor position.
Oh.
At 10 TV.
Yeah, seeing as how you knew that Andrew was leaving.
I didn't know. But now that I know, I'm going to apply.
You are aware?
I'm going to submit a demo tape.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, who's going to make the demo tape for you?
I've been told that I can have access to their desk for a few minutes, so I'm going to make a little tape.
Why not make a tape? Why not just do the audition live?
I would like to do that. You'll have to talk to Big Rick about that.
Oh, I'll talk to Big Rick about that.
Please talk to him.
I think that would be some very, very entertaining content for them.
All right, Meat Chicken. Meat Chicken loses to Washington 27-17. They have no quarterback option that's any good. They're on the bye this week. Sharon Moore said today that I guess if we had to play tomorrow, Jack Tuttle would be our starting quarterback. Well, they don't have to play tomorrow or this week. They're on the bye. But when they do come back, they have to go to Illinois. Now, what is Illinois going to be? I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, they're
not bad.
They're an upper third Big Ten team.
They're not a bad football team.
I'm convinced of that. You have to go on the road to Champaign, very windy, hard to throw, even when you have Jeff George.
You may as well not even throw.
That's a timely reference. But that's a game that I didn't want to play. I can see Illinois knocking them off. Can't you?
Absolutely, I can.
So let's say they do.
They can't throw the ball. They couldn't find 300 yards of offense. This is Michigan we're talking about, and they got outgained by Washington 429 to 287. And here's the difference between this Michigan team and some of the Michigan teams in the past. Because look, we can understand that they've built this up in a number of ways, right? Jim Harbaugh is their head coach. Some good old-fashioned cheating. We know that was part of it. And physicality. They have been really good in the trenches. They've run the football well. They've had a strong defense. They've been really good up front on the offensive line. And they have had quarterbacks that have been pretty good. They haven't had anybody that matches Ohio State's QBs in the numbers they've been putting up offensively. But J.J. McCarthy was a notch above, a step above some of the recent guys. And then again, you have some cheating and some signal stealing going on, and then he becomes even better with how he can read a defense and knowing where to go through his progressions. But when you have this level of quarterback play and you're going to turn the ball over, then this is what you get. You lose to a mediocre Big Ten team now in Washington by 10 points.
I wasn't the biggest J.J. McCarthy fan in the world. I thought it was ridiculous that he was a first-round pick. We'll see what he is in the NFL, but J.J. McCarthy compared to what they have on this roster is Tom Brady.
Glaring.
I mean, you have nobody who can throw a forward pass on this roster.
Yeah.
I can see them losing to Illinois.
Can't do it.
Then they host Michigan State, and they'll probably win that game because Sparty's trash, and that game's at home. Then they host Oregon. They can easily lose that game, depending on what happens with Oregon.
On the road at Indiana.
On the road at Indiana, they can lose that game.
Wow.
Home against Northwestern, they can win that game, and then on the road here. I mean, we're talking about a team that could lose 4 more games to go along with their 2 losses they already have?
Well, 2 things come to mind now that you actually bring up Indiana, and I'm looking at their schedule too going into that game. But the fact that Michigan's turning into this, and there were some people out there that saw this coming from Michigan with the sign stealing pretty much going away.
They only have five returning starters.
Big change in the roster.
Put a lot of guys in the NFL.
Big change in the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
A lot. It was a mass exodus. This was going to be really difficult for them to be a similar kind of team. Now, I thought just because of what they could be in their fronts, physicality up front on both lines of scrimmage, that they could power their way to a good amount of wins, but now I'm starting to doubt that.
Well,
now that they're already taking 2 losses.
They can still run the football. The problem is the defenses are just stacking the line.
Exactly.
Because there's no threat. They can throw anything down the field.
We're going to dare you. We're going to dare you to take it to the air. And it looks like Jack Tuttle might have to be that guy who, again, is a 6-year guy that's never really played any football. He just threw his 7th touchdown pass of his career on Saturday night. I'm looking at this Michigan game, and you think about the end of the year, it doesn't even matter if Michigan runs the table or does whatever going into the Ohio State game. The fact of the matter of how you need to beat these guys, I don't want to be going into that week thinking about how it's a throw the records out, anything goes kind of game.
You will.
You're going to do that, but it feels like this is a time to pounce, to not just beat Michigan, but to beat them and make it hurt, to take out some aggression and run the score up on them.
From a talent perspective, these teams are light years away from each other. But I don't care if the Buckeyes are undefeated going into that game, and Michigan, like we just talked about, worst case scenario is they lose 4 more games. Okay? They're a 6-loss football team.
Oh, my God.
Or a 5-loss football team, I guess, going into that week. I'm still not going to feel comfortable. You know who else is not going to feel comfortable? Ryan Day.
Probably not. But we're going to need to see something happen.
It needs to be done.
You're going to need to see something happen. And if that is a bad Michigan football team that comes to your house, you don't have to go to Ann Arbor this year. So you get a chance to rectify this in front of your home fans, a lot of which are going to be buying really, really expensive tickets on the secondhand market to go and be a part of this, to stop the streak. You're not just going to want to win. You are going to win and bring the pain so you can roll that right to the Big Ten championship game the next week.
Crew over the weekend beat Philly. They secured second in the East. So we thought there was maybe an outside chance. You beat Miami a couple days ago that you could take the Supporters Shield. That's obviously not going to happen. They clinched that. So you do the best you can, second in the East. We have Monday Night Football tonight. Saints at the Chiefs. Hey, the Chiefs are on Monday Night Football or a national window?
Well, you think they're getting too much prime time?
No, it's fine. They're good. People like to watch them. 8 o'clock here on The Fan. Coming up next, where does Alabama's loss to Vandy rank as one of the top upsets in Hillbilly history? I'm going to tell you. Coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got a 5-minute delay due to an accident on southbound 71's off-ramp to eastbound 70, and that's on the north side. Traffic is stop and go from 670. Traffic is also moving slowly on southbound 270 on the east outer belt from Livingston Avenue to I-70, and there's a small delay on eastbound 670 between Neal Avenue and Leonard Avenue. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled.
He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here.
Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for, it's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Get your ex to the lodge for the freshest menu additions. Spice up your wing order with new sauces featuring the chicken tikka or spicy chili crisp. Or try our famous flatbreads with the backyard barbecue brisket or chicken tikka. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Oh, what?
Would you please just call the Waterworks?
At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Better care, better value, better results.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they head to Philly to battle the Eagles.
Live coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick at 1.
Your Central Ohio home for Browns football, The Fan.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Fox Tonight.
911, what's your emergency?
Pouring gas. It's coming right up. Slow it down.
An explosive twist shakes the 911 Lone Star season premiere event.
We have multiple firefighters down.
Then, welcome to the most dangerous stretch of beach in the world. TV's biggest new show is Rescue High Surf.
Hey, everybody needs to get back now.
Clear.
911 Lone Star and Rescue High Surf, all new.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. We did the math. Common Man has hosted over 5,000 shows on The Fan. 3 of them have been halfway decent. Here's Man and Bone.
Teddy?
Yeah.
This ain't one of them.
Maybe tomorrow?
Nah.
I told you. I told you.
Tomorrow's not going to be one of them either. Even if you and I have the best shows of our lives, Bone's going to be fresh off his Confederate flag journey down to Alabama and Furnace Fest, where every artist that he saw sounded like this.
Bone's almost living a double life, isn't he? He's got this life here where he's a popular sports talk host, and then he's got that life where he's pumping that out on Instagram, where he's going to watch Satan death metal down in the pits of Alabama. He drove, that man left here, right in the middle of college football heaven, right in the middle of the season, too.
That's all right.
To go
Furnace
down
Fest only comes once a year.
Oh, yeah.
It only comes once a year.
Christmas come once a year.
He gets very excited about it.
Bone loves that Furnace Fest.
Mm-hmm. Guardians and Tigers game 2 starting in about 10, 15 minutes. Of course, you had game 1 on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Inexplicably took the day off on, because why wouldn't you? Took the day off on Sunday. Yankees did that too with the Royals. Now they're back in action today.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told by my spies up in the land that the midges are out today.
Oh, no. Are they?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, be careful.
The midges are out, and they're just going to swarm Jabba Chamberlain.
Wherever he is.
Wherever he is, they're going to swarm him.
Don't know where he is?
Could be dead. I don't know.
Oh, no, he lives.
Jabba?
Oh, he lives. He's living a great life.
Good fat lead. Like him. Hillbilly time. Alabama loses to Vandy over the weekend. So they were a 20, what was it?
28, I think?
22 and a half.
22 and a half, is that all?
22 and a half point favorite. That is not the biggest upset in SEC history. We're dating this back to 1978. The biggest upset from a point spread standpoint was Mississippi State beating number 20 Florida at the time back in 2004. The spread in that game was 24. Also, LSU in 1993 beat number 5 Alabama at that time, and that too was a 24 point spread. So what I'm saying is this is one of the biggest upsets in the conference's history when we're looking at it from a point spread standpoint.
And you know what? You can throw those point spreads out because we don't remember either of those two. But I think most people are going to remember when Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. They're just one of those schools. And that's not to say that I think James Franklin had Vanderbilt at a 6-win team, maybe won 7 or 8 games there and parlayed that into getting that Penn State job. But it's still Vanderbilt. It's just the name. I don't know what it is. They just haven't had any success throughout their entire existence. So it doesn't even matter if Vanderbilt becomes somewhat good. It would take a long, long time for Vanderbilt to churn out 10-win seasons to get rid of that stain. They're Vanderbilt, and Alabama lost to them on the road.
Teddy, what's the colon drug they've been advertising on TV? You know the name of it? It's not Cialis. Cialis is the pee-pee medication.
I think you have the Cologuard thing.
No, it's not Cologuard. It's not poop in the box.
Yeah, they have that.
Whatever it is, there's colitis. It's something for colitis. Is that colon related?
I think it is, like the thing for Crohn's disease or ulcer.
Anyway, you know how they have these drug commercials.
Entyvio, maybe?
What is
that
it?
Is it Entyvio?
I don't know.
Who knows?
So I'm watching football last night with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those commercials comes on. It's for the colitis. This is my favorite commercial. Why is it your favorite commercial?
The singing, the dancing?
No, because they're doing nice things. Like they're going fishing, they're riding rapids, they're going out to dinner and eating in 5-star restaurants. She goes,
yes.
They're doing such amazing things.
They're just living life.
I can't wait till I take that medication. No, honey. You don't want to take that medication. It's for colitis. Sounds like fun. Look at all the fun they're having.
Right. They're going to water parks. Right. They're holding hands and watching a beautiful sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the greatest commercials, right? And they take forever because they want to take at least a minute to 90 seconds to tell you about it.
We've gone a long way, haven't we?
Yeah.
The first time I remember seeing a commercial for a prescription drug, I think was a Viagra commercial.
Probably was.
Where it's just like
Cialis
two
was
old
big
people
into that game
like
too.
Winking at each other.
Right.
And now it's for everything. Psoriasis, colitis, pee-pee no worky.
I used to love just it would be the man and woman of a certain age, obviously, but they would have them
in bathtubs.
They'd have that. They would. Of course, that was the main thing. That became the logo, right?
Staring
Holding
out
hands,
into the distance.
They're each in their own cast iron tub.
Right.
We're gonna do
very realistic
We're gonna do
portrayal.
cast iron silhouettes. That's what we want.
Clawfoot tubs.
We want that claw. Yeah, and we want those hands just dangling out of the tub, holding hands because we're in love. But you just gotta love it. They're just. Late night in your apartment, some beautiful, Manhattan, high-rise, flat type of deal. Popcorn, blankets everywhere, and then like the man and the woman, they just give each other that look. And it's time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not gross. It's just it's
gross.
A beautiful thing.
It's not.
No, it's magical.
The early ones.
It's tasteful.
Were lusty.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were. They'd get a guy that would just give you that look.
They have John Holmes acting in one of the Viagra commercials.
What was that movie where Charles S. Dutton just gives a huge tongue kiss to Halle Berry? You know what movie I'm talking about? Was it Monsters Ball?
Monsters Ball. Was he in that?
There's some movie with Halle Berry and Charles S. Dutton who just bald and weird and everything.
I don't know. I don't know how many things I've seen him in outside of Rudy, because he's the dude from Rudy, right?
He
5
was
foot
also,
nothing, 100 to nothing.
That's right. He also had the show Rock.
Right.
On
TV show.
Fox.
Sitcom, right?
Yes. And they would do that show live sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
Live studio audience.
Live studio audience and live on TV. So anything could happen. And sometimes it did.
Sometimes calamity ensues.
But there was this movie where Charles S. Dutton just swallows her entire face. That's the feeling that I get sometimes
his mouth,
when I watch the erectile dysfunction commercials on TV.
His mouth is over her nose.
You can tell he was really getting into it, as you would. Like he looks the call sheet that day, and he's like, "Suck Halle Berry's face." Yes, yes,
Boy,
I'm gonna make it count.
this is why I got into this. You know, some people say it's for the art. No.
How was your day, honey? It was very good. I got to suck Halle Berry's face right off.
I might have gone a little bit too far.
I actually kept burping, so they'd have to do another take of it.
I wanted to make sure that I gave the director a lot of options.
Mm-hmm. All right, NFL. Brownies, Bengals, lots of crap. We'll talk about it next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at a 5-minute slowdown if you're on eastbound 270 on the North Outer Belt between 315 and 71. And we have a couple-minute delay on northbound 71 on the north side from 670 to 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. The Ohio Laborers, they're more than just hard hats and tools. They're the backbone of Ohio's infrastructure, constructing vital projects that shape your communities. Witness their members as they construct solar energy facilities, harnessing the power of the sun for Ohio's future. Build Ohio right, build it Union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
The fall holiday weekend is just around the corner. It's the perfect time to dare to compare at Bob's Discount Furniture. You've seen the action. You've felt the suspense. You've saved hundreds, even thousands of dollars on highly rated furniture, mattresses, and more. America loves it so much that Bob's is opening 2 new stores on October 11th, just in time for the holiday weekend. See how much you can save when you dare to compare in store or at mybobs.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We love that place so much, Mike. We're going back again to do a live broadcast.
Friday, October 11th. Be there, be a loser. 3 to 6. That's what time the show is.
I mean, we're losers for being on the show, but you can hang out with us and not be a loser.
We have lots of prizes to give away, including hockey tickets, and we're talking about the big football game they're going to be playing the next day.
Plus, we'll have a fan prize pack given away every hour of the show and stickers.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Ready to pop the question but not sure where to start? Join us at Diamond Cellar After Hours on October 17th for a night out with a DJ, drinks, and exclusive discounts on engagement rings. With 90 days to redeem your discount, there's no rush to find the one. The ring, that is. When you stop by, you'll have a chance to win Ohio State football tickets or Blue Jackets tickets in the new Diamond Cellar Club. RSVP now at diamondcellar.com/afterhours and save up to $1,000 on qualifying purchases. See you October 17th at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, explains why he banks with First Bank of Central Ohio.
Anytime you're dealing with a local bank, it's about being able to pick up the phone and talk to real people. That is a huge pro. You know, when you get into these bigger banks, that doesn't happen.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Cleveland Guardians getting set to host the Detroit Tigers in Game 2 of their American League Divisional Series. Guardians won the opening game. Tariq Skubal pitching for the Tigers. Matthew Boyd on the hill for the Guardians. Meanwhile, it's Game 2 of the American League Divisional Series with Kansas City and New York tonight. Yankees have Carlos Rodon going to the mound after having won the opening game. The Royals will send Cole Reagans to the hill. Both National League Series resume tomorrow. NFL tonight, unbeaten Kansas City hosting 2-2 New Orleans. You can hear that game tonight right here on The Fan. Cincinnati Bengals announcing that starting cornerback Dax Hill is out for the rest of the season after suffering a torn ACL in yesterday's loss to Baltimore. This update brought to you by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The only thing better than watching football is talking about it. So we invented Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Does excessive amounts of Prozac make your sack droop down to your knees? Asking for a friend. My friend's name is Mike. Back to Droopy Sack and T-Bone.
Droopy Sack and T-Bone brought to you by the Hinder Motor Company. It is Yikes Monday. 4:34 for Yikes. Jason's beef at 5:34. Timmy's here. Teddy's here. We recap all the football from the weekend. It's NFL hour. Let's talk about the Browns, shall we?
You want to go there?
Well, I do want to go there because it impacts you. You're a big Commander fan. You got your merch on today. You've been looking for a quarterback forever. Now it looks like you finally have one.
Your place or ours? NFC Championship game.
Look at you.
No, I'm not there with your Bears yet. I'm not even there with the Commanders yet.
But you know what?
Let's just enjoy. I just want to enjoy this.
Feel good about it, Timmy.
What are we doing here?
Feel good.
We're old men. Our teams don't win.
Can I tell you something?
What do we have?
Jayden Daniels. I don't know what he's going to be. You know, we've seen guys come on and have really hot starts, and then you've seen that guy.
Yeah,
RG3's that guy.
RG3 was the rookie of the year.
Exactly. We've seen it with Carson Wentz. We've seen it before, where guys have hot starts to careers, and then whatever the hell happens. But I'm telling you right now, what are we, 6 weeks in?
Yeah, he's 5 games
season?
in. He's 5 games in.
5 games in. He is a genuine MVP candidate right now. I'm telling you. Screw Rookie of the Year. Name me quarterbacks who are playing better than Jayden Daniels right now. I'll hang up and listen for my answer.
Until this Sunday, but they still won, and that's what counts, right? Sam Darnold. Great story.
Yes, great story.
Priceless and rich. And Baker Mayfield has been playing pretty good football, too, shockingly. I mean, the two names that I throw out there to stack up with Jayden Daniels, but Josh Allen's been phenomenal to start the year.
Tired of him.
I don't want to get...
Time's over.
I appreciate that people see this in Jayden Daniels. I mean, we all have eyes. The guy is an electrifying player. You never know how it's going to go. And there's something about when it's your team and your team has been bad since you've been a little kid. You just don't expect that anything good can happen to your organization. I would imagine Browns fans deal with those same types of things, where even if something looks good on paper, you don't expect it to actually be good in reality. Do you think Browns fans have been more trying to tell themselves that the Deshaun Watson deal would work out, or do you think the majority of them have kind of felt this coming, hated it from the beginning? I feel like there was a lot of people, a lot of Browns fans that I know that were trying to tell themselves that this would be all right.
There's always a lot of Browns fans. I don't know if you remember when the Johnny Manziel Untold documentary came out. Right? Which, by the way, was horribly done if you went and watched it. It was 80% of the movie was he's a douchebag in college. And then all the pro stuff was like afterthought. They spent like 5 minutes on his entire professional career.
And that was a pretty big part of his story, right?
But
being a first-round draft pick.
Of course it was.
First-round pick and not walking through that door one bit.
And they were showing, draft day. When he was sitting there, he was live. I think it was still at Radio City Music Hall when they were doing this.
Yeah.
And they showed the Browns fans just who were in the crowd there. They're the weirdo super fans who are all dressed up.
If you're gonna go to Radio City Music Hall,
you don't have a lot of fans just like, oh yes, wonderful
that
selection.
Camera pans by you and you're doing the bleh.
Yes, you're either booing loudly or cheering hysterically. And they had Browns fans there crying. Oh my God, yes, We finally got it.
We got Johnny. He's
Our
the guy.
He's going to save us. Instead, it was a complete and total disaster. And I'm sure there were people who said, Deshaun Watson, finally, the Browns are going all in on a quarterback. But there's also a big chunk of Browns Nation. And sometimes they're dwarfed by the total lunatics that take over TV and radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That were scared to death.
Yeah.
That were scared to death because you saw what you gave up, both from a pick standpoint and from a money standpoint. And we had gotten to the point in the NFL where if you draft a quarterback and it doesn't work out, because this is a slotted system now, and because the cap is so high, right? It wasn't the end of the world.
It's not as devastating.
I mean, clearly you don't want to miss on a quarterback. Whether the Colts have done that and Anthony Richardson, who the hell knows? But the Colts can turn around and draft a quarterback next year.
Right, and take a look at what your Bears did. They used a pretty valuable pick to grab Justin Fields,
wouldn't
but
cripple them.
10 or 11 overall, it's not the end of the world. They wind up sucking in a few more years, and a guy like Caleb Williams is there. They're going to take the shot to take him number one overall.
Right. It used to be that it set your franchise back 4 years if you took the wrong quarterback at number one. Now, what the Browns have done with Deshaun Watson, it's essentially that again, where this financially cripples you.
Oh, man.
It cripples you.
And I guess I should make note, too, of if there's draft pick capital that is used, that says something, too. If you're selling future first-round picks down to move up a number of spots, and then you pick a guy at, say, 1 or 2 overall, and that doesn't work out, then that's a little bit different situation. But this is becoming one of the worst moves in the history of sports. This is becoming one of the biggest blunders in the history of North American sports. How much money they invested into him, and you really have to wonder now. My wife was asking me this while we were watching the game yesterday. She was like, "What is the owner's position in all this, as far as who's playing?" And I just say, I said, that's pretty interesting that you bring that up. Because I would imagine a lot of those conversations are being had right now as to who's pulling the strings or who's calling the shots in this situation, because clearly you can see how ineffective a player is on the field. But there is this thing here where so much money has been invested and put on the line. We even saw that in Carolina. Did we not just see that situation in Carolina 2 weeks ago when Bryce Young was benched? Head coach goes out there, talks about how he is my starting quarterback. The next day, by the time he could have another press conference, his owner had likely said, "Yeah, it's time to pull back. We need to see Dalton in there for a bit." Who the heck knows what's going on here? But man, is it bad. And there's no way you can bank on Deshaun Watson getting any better at this point.
It's awful. He's awful. Him just walking off the field on a 4th down yesterday, too, where Stefanski was totally dumbfounded. They wound up having to kick when they were clearly going to go for it.
The only thing I saw, and I wasn't able to count out the players, is that were there 12 men on the field? But either way, that's on coaching, that's on everybody, that you're disorganized.
No, that's the thing, is that
you got to score a touchdown there. It's the one completion you made all game. You got to punch that one in, and you didn't.
Right, because then if you score a touchdown there, it's what, a 2-score game?
Yeah, it was 24-3. You're getting your brains beaten in, and that's still relatively early in the second half. You move the ball down the field for the first time, and then you're disorganized. You take a delay game penalty, and you settle for 3. You can't win that way.
It's more than just Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's awful. Don't get me wrong. This entire team's awful right now.
Franchise.
This entire team is awful. This defense is awful. It's all awful. I actually don't like... The national guys are screaming, and everybody else is screaming too locally, of course, for Jameis Winston to get the nod. I actually wouldn't do that. I would just, maybe it's a 10% chance that number 4 goes out there and finds something this season. Maybe it's not likely to happen. But I'm telling you, there's no fixing this team with Jameis Winston. The only way this team gets fixed, air quotes, is if your quarterback remembers he's a superstar.
Well, and if you keep playing him, and it looks like you're closer to the number 1 overall pick in terms of percentages than you are to being a playoff team.
This isn't forget about it. This is not a playoff team.
That's what I'm saying. That's the conundrum there, because I'm not going to totally disagree with you. I mean, Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston's trash.
He's Jameis Winston.
He's going to do nothing.
He gives a great pregame speech, though, doesn't he?
Good for him.
He can reach in there and find a W. There we go. Got a W. Nom, nom, nom. Let's go. Let's go win. He seems to really rally the troops there. But if Deshaun Watson can at least, maybe it's the last 4 games of the regular season, but if he starts to get hot and he starts to, like you said, look somewhat like the quarterback he used to be, maybe somebody else, I'm not banking on it, but maybe somebody else would have an interest in taking over Deshaun's services for you next year in 2025.
No, not at that. No. Not at that salary.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to share.
You cut him in the offseason.
You're going to have to share some of that.
Right. You do what the Broncos had to do for Russell Wilson, and you have to eat it and just take your medicine.
And you might want to bench him because you want him healthy if you're going to do that.
Well, and this is why I said during the offseason, too, where everybody's like, especially all the national guys, like, oh, look what they did. They extended Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry. That's a great move. They had to. Why? This could go down from a front office standpoint as the worst move in NFL history. And you went out of your way to extend the guy who made the deal. Explain that to me. If it's true that Deshaun Watson is not being utilized properly, Kevin Stefanski doesn't know what he's doing, calling plays. He's not taking advantage of what Deshaun Watson can do, whatever the hell that is. He's one of the worst head coaches, and you extend him. Based on what? This team has accomplished nothing. They've done nothing.
It really is back to the Browns of old right here.
Show me a win.
Looked like they were going to enter into a window where they could get something done, where they were building up the defense, but now just from the top all the way down.
Show me a win.
I can't.
On this schedule.
I can't.
At the Eagles, home against the Bengals. That could be a win, and we'll talk about that crappy team in a second, too, and their stupid head coach. Home against the Ravens, home against the Chargers, at the Saints, home against the Steelers, at the Broncos, at the Steelers, home against the Chiefs, at the Bengals, home against the Dolphins, home against the Ravens.
There's your win. Miami, week 17.
But I'm just saying, what's the best case scenario here?
Yeah, I think the best
case. This is a 5-win football team.
4 or 5-win football team. That's what we're talking about. That's sad. Really sad.
All right, let's talk about the other garbage team down south, too. That's next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
Watch out for a disabled vehicle that's on the right shoulder of northbound 270 on the East Outer Belt after 670. And you're going to run into a 5-minute delay on westbound 161 between Johnstown Road and Hamilton Road. We also have a 5-minute delay on southbound 315 between Kinnear Road and Town Street. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil change anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
Listen to Sherrod Brown. When he wanted your vote.
On major issues, I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
But Sherrod Brown doesn't stand up to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He votes with them 97% of the time. Brown supported Biden and Harris on radical issues like amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. Brown voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID stimulus checks to convicted criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. And Brown voted to give taxpayer-funded health care to illegals who get amnesty and Social Security benefits, too. So the next time Sherrod Brown tells you,
I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
Ignore it, because 31 years in Washington has changed Sherrod Brown. He's not for us anymore, and he's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americancrossroads.org.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. but she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, it's Anthony. Do more with your money at Tel-Ohio Credit Union. If you know Tel-Ohio Choice Checking, you know all the perks that come with your account. Cash in your benefits by setting up an account today. Find out more at telohio.org.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel-Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Columbus, the wait is over. Blue Jackets hockey is back. Come feel the boom all season long. Be here Tuesday, October 15th for the home opener, presented by Nationwide. Get your tickets today at BlueJackets.com. Join Skip Mossick, Paul Keels, and Jim Lachey for 2 whole hours of Scarlet and Gray goodness.
Thank you, football God.
Buckeye Roundtable, Monday night at 6.
Presented by Burger King.
Your flagship home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Listen to Sherrod Brown. When he wanted your vote,
on major issues, I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
But Sherrod Brown doesn't stand up to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He votes with them 97% of the time. Brown supported Biden and Harris on radical issues like amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. Brown voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID stimulus checks to convicted criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. And Brown voted to give taxpayer-funded health care to illegals who get amnesty and Social Security benefits, too. So the next time Sherrod Brown tells you,
I'll stand up to the president of my own party,
ignore it, because 31 years in Washington has changed Sherrod Brown. He's not for us anymore, and he's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americancrossroads.org.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A little on the cool side, but plenty of sunshine and a very nice finish to the day. Temperatures running in the upper 60s. Overnight, we'll fall back down to the low 40s with clear skies and a cool start. Back up to around 70 Tuesday afternoon with plenty of sunshine and light winds. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If Biggie Size was a radio show, this would be it. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Please subscribe to the podcast of This Stupid Show. It's available wherever you get your audio. Just click subscribe after you search for Common Man and T-Bone. Do that first. Then click subscribe. And every single show comes right to your device free of charge. The podcast is brought to you by our friends, Care Heating and Cooling. Timmy's here. Teddy's here on this Reaction Monday. You know, I don't know if you've heard, but the election's coming up.
Oh.
And, I say that because you probably don't even know. Because there hasn't been any political ads or anything.
Not from us.
Radio, TV, nowhere. You know what I think? Whoever wants to win, I'm specifically talking about the presidency at this point because it's going to need some clout probably to get this done. I contend that here's how I know that aliens don't exist. Or at least they don't exist in the way that we think they exist. Like we have their technology and we've got Area 51 and specimens inside a jar.
You think they don't exist?
I think they exist, but I think we don't know anything about them.
I was going to say, you haven't talked to my man Beanie enough.
No, I know.
You're on the fence about that.
I know what Beanie has to say.
We got stories for you.
I think there's probably much more intelligent beings out there than us, but if there were, they wouldn't allow us to see anything. But I contend there's no aliens that the government knows about because there's no way Trump wouldn't tell us. There's no way. He'd be spouting out off on Truth Social or in the debate. If you vote for me, aliens. I'll tell you about it.
Are you sure he hasn't brought this up at some point in time?
Trust me.
Because the man's talked about a lot of things.
That's right.
Could that have been somewhere in the last 2 years?
No, but I contend that anybody who says, you vote for me, and I'll tell you everything we know about the aliens. Doesn't matter what your stances are on most things, you're going to vote for that person.
Oh, man.
Because you want to know. And I'm telling you, any candidate that stands up there and says, if you vote for me, I will ban political ads, radio, TV, until 14 days before an election. Be against the law to run a political ad more than 2 weeks out.
So you have the ads.
From an election.
You have the ads. Hold them back. 2 weeks out.
2 weeks
Let
out.
them go.
Then it's free-for-all. It's like a 2-week free-for-all. You buy as many ads as you possibly want. But up until then.
I like this. I don't know what the next rule is going to be, but I got to tell you, I'm very impressed by the last one.
Exactly. You telling me they wouldn't win in a landslide? It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. I haven't met anyone who's not sick to their stomach with political ads right now.
Back to the alien thing.
Yes, please, back to the alien thing.
Let's back that up to the alien thing. Do you think, Panama Ted and I, I'm sure, have both seen these films because they're ridiculous and they have Nicolas Cage in them. Do you think there's an actual book of secrets that the presidents of the United States of America have kept throughout time, where they all jot down some of their own notes from things that they found out or secrets that just have been passed on? From presidency to presidency.
But it's probably,
I would think there's got to be something
much
like
more
that.
Mundane than when you think it is.
Well, it's not going to tell us who, in fact, killed Kennedy.
It's like,
it's not going to tell us about the moon landing.
Bathroom next to Oval Office, jiggle knob, especially when taking a huge deuce.
Will it tell us?
You will clog that toilet.
Will it tell us things about Taft and getting stuck on toilets and stuck in bathtubs?
Yeah, that's what's going to be in the book.
Well, I want that. I'd like that.
It's not going to be like Bush sitting there, and then I looked at the Grays in the eyes. They told me the secrets of life. They talked to me telepathically.
That's what they do in Tennessee. I think it's in Tennessee. Maybe it's in Texas.
There's an old saying, you got to flush twice, you're going to clog the toilet.
It's a courtesy flush, William. Did they not have that back in the 1920s?
See, in my mind, too, like the Book of Secrets would be about how Bush had to, you know how you pull the cord to start a lawnmower.
You crank it
really,
like you're
sometimes you just got to
rip.
You got to do that to Dick Cheney every single day to get his heart going. I got to pull on his cord.
He's got a cord in there that you just rip.
He's like a doll.
He's
in the back. He takes his shirt off and you just rip the cord a couple times and he comes to life.
He's like a what? A doll.
A doll.
Okay. A doll.
You know what? I thought T-Bone being gone, no. I'd be able to get away with the word. I guess not.
No.
All right, Bengals. Bengals lose yesterday to the Ravens despite having a double-digit lead at home.
Bad football team.
The fourth quarter. Yes, they're just a bad football team. All this bravado.
Yeah, say what you will.
We're the team to beat in the AFC. You know, Joe Burrow said as much. Joe Burrow said after the game, we're not a good team. We're not a championship-level team. Hopefully we'll get there, but we're not there now.
For Zach Taylor to actually have the gall after what's been going on this year, where you finally had your quarterback, your star quarterback, healthy for the buildup to a preseason. And even then, even as he was healthy leading up to the season, people are still worried and wondering, how's that arm, how's that wrist going to hold up? And here we are, where that is the last thing on anyone's mind. Who would have thought that no one's saying anything about how Joe's arm looks? Can he throw the deep ball after that first week where it was the dink and dunk fest against the Patriots? You're not just concerned about the loss. You're wondering, can he even throw it? Here you are offensively watching this guy put up big numbers. And you're going to sit up there and after a 1-4 start where it's done, this thing is over, losing another game like that. And then you're going to even use the line, I'm not dumb enough to do it. No, you are dumb enough. You actually are. You're dumb enough to let another game that you could have won slip away. Because collectively as an organization, you won't do anything about Lou Anarumo's stagnant defense that can't stop anybody. And you, Zach, continually put yourself in a shell when you have to just gain 10 to 20 yards. You just choose to gain nothing.
He's done this before.
Money Mac, Evan McPherson's going to win this game.
He's done this before, and his kicker has bailed him out. Also made stupid decisions. But his kicker has bailed him out. And you saw it again, overtime, 3-run plays up the middle, set up a 53-yarder like it's a chip shot.
Crap.
It is crap.
Crap.
And it's not just that drive. When the going gets tough, his ass gets so tight, being Zach Taylor. Here's the last 3 drives of the game, okay? From an offensive standpoint with the Bengals. Up 3 with 5:24 left to go in regulation. 6 plays, 34 yards, false start, pick. And it was a pick you can't throw in that situation. And that's a false start penalty you can't have on that drive. Next drive, tied with 1:35 left to go in regulation. 3 plays, 4 yards, bad sack, had to punt.
Yeah.
Okay? 3 and out.
And that's not all on Zach. Some of that is on Joe, too.
Of course it is.
You can't throw that pick.
No.
You can't take that sack. You have a chance to win the game now. Do what you've been doing all game. March up and down the field and get it done.
And then, tied in overtime, 3 plays, 3 yards, missed field goal.
And that's just gross. And if Joe did actually check out of a pass call on that second down play to just run it right into the brick wall, the Ravens defense again, then again, that's a collective failure on him and Zach Taylor. But it's hard to get on the guy that has 390 some yards and 5 touchdown passes. And again, every week it just proves what Jamar Chase is doing for this team, and they didn't want to negotiate or didn't want to come to some common ground with his contract. It just shows you everything about the Bengals organizationally with who they've picked and chosen to pay in the past. And you've got Joe Burrow, you got him locked up, but it just seems like the people that said, oh, you know what, that Super Bowl run, that's going to be the only one that you have in this entire era. Why does it's got a long way to go.
You got a lot of trash.
But why does it feel like that could be true?
You got a lot of trash in the state of Ohio when it comes to professional football. A lot of big names. A lot of teams that should be better. But as of right now in 2024, a lot of trash. Yikes is coming up next. That's not what I wanted. Although, you know what? The jackass sound probably is applicable. That's what I wanted. Yikes, next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got a 5-minute delay due to a disabled vehicle that's blocking the left lane on eastbound 670 at International Gateway. It is causing slow traffic from 5th Avenue. And we also have a 5-minute delay on northbound 71 on the north side between Main Street and 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Fox tonight.
911, what's your emergency?
Pouring gas. It's coming right up. Slow it down.
An explosive twist shakes the 911 Lone Star season premiere event.
We have multiple firefighters down.
Then, welcome to the most dangerous stretch of beach in the world. TV's biggest new show is Rescue High Surf.
Hey, everybody needs to get back now. Clear.
911 Lone Star and Rescue High Surf, all new.
Tonight starting at 8 on Fox 28.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil change-anxiety. And breathe in automotive peace. Visit us today.
Scotty Vegas for Maxima Concrete. They redid my whole driveway, but they can do so much more, like outdoor kitchens, pools, patios, you name it. Mention this ad for $250 off your next project with Maxima Concrete, and visit MaximaConcrete.com.
It's Monday Night Football on the Fan. Catch the Saints and Chiefs from KC. Live coverage starts Monday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is here. It's the perfect time to replace those old, drafty windows before the cold sets in. As temperatures drop, you don't want to be stuck with windows that make your heating system work overtime, because that will cost you money. My guys at Universal Windows Direct back everything up with a true lifetime warranty as long as you own the home, and a 20-year warranty to the next homeowner. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply, because they always do. Call them today, 614-502-5220, or go to uwd.com.
Hi, Bob and Teresa Capace here for Worthington Jewelers.
Join us for our semi-annual bridal sale.
Featuring our BOGO, buy one, get one 50% off on engagement rings, wedding bands, or wedding sets. Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
High Bank Distillery is giving away free burgers for a year. Stop by any of High Bank's 3 locations October 14th through the 19th and try their $8 burgers. Upload your burger pic to social media, tag High Bank for a chance to win. Visit highbankco.com/battle for more details.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6%. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about $10,000 in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The only thing scarier than Bones' analogies is man's browser history.
I'm sorry, man. I thought you want to see this.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Reaction Monday. I'm reacting. We reacted to Buckeye football in the first hour of the show. We talked about the crappy professional teams in this current hour of the show. And Timmy's wearing double Washington Commanders stuff today.
Yeah, well, I actually, if you're paying attention, if you're watching the show at all today on YouTube, you can do that. You can enter into that chat, which a lot of you do. Good on you. I've got my Commanders. It's a Washington Redskins Super Bowl 26 hat, but they can't put a Washington Redskins logo on it because that's where we are. So it has a Commanders W, and the shirt is the Washington football team, which lived for 2 whole years.
Look, the hat bothers me only because, and I'll say this too with the Indians/Guardians, I am not against changing these names. They should have been changed, all right? So save it. However, you can't retroactively go back in time and tell me the Commanders were in Super Bowl, 26?
Yeah, they did. They weren't.
They weren't. The Redskins were.
Are we not allowed to watch NFL films? Are we never going to show highlights or clips from great Washington football players throughout the course of time? They'll be wearing those uniforms. They'll be wearing those jerseys.
Jose Mesa did not pitch in the World Series for the Guardians. He pitched for the Indians.
Right.
Now, going forward, those are your names, and I have no problem with that. But let's not try and rewrite history and say, oh, yeah, the Commanders, they were in Super Bowl 26. Remember that? No. Timmy Smith, no play for the Commanders.
That was Mark Rippon, the Ripster.
Wasn't that Timmy Smith, though, too? At the running back position?
I don't know if Timmy was on that third Super Bowl team.
Maybe he wasn't on the third Super Bowl team.
He definitely was on some of those, maybe the first 2.
Because he came out of nowhere.
Ernest Biner.
My guy.
Cleveland.
Wilbur Marshall.
Wilbur.
My guy.
Charles Mann, Darryl Green on the defense.
Oh,
Jim Lachey, our guy Lachey.
That's right.
On the offensive line, one of the Hogs.
All right, yikes time. Patriots did not have a good day yesterday. First of all, they lose to the Dolphins 15-10, just 148 yards passing. Yikes. 12 penalties. Yikes. Their offensive point totals so far this season, 16 in a win against the Bengals. 23, 13, 10. Yikes. One of their captains, Jabril Peppers, didn't play yesterday because of a shoulder injury. His shoulder was apparently giving him no trouble on Saturday when he was arrested for drug possession and strangulation. Yikes. He was charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, strangulation, and cocaine possession. The good news is Jabril Peppers now has as many arrests for strangulation as he had interceptions at Michigan. Yikes.
Last week, you know that my Orioles were sent packing from the postseason again. First of all, for a team that got hot, winning 5 of 6 down the stretch, mustering 1 run in 2 games at home is abysmal. Yikes. Take that back to last year's postseason, and they have scored 2 runs in the last 27 innings of playoff baseball. Yikes. Not to mention, they now hold the second longest streak in history with 10 straight postseason losses. Yikes. Credit the Royals for starting them on that streak 10 years ago by sweeping them in the ALCS, bookending it, handing the O's their 9th and 10th straight losses this year. But a toast to the Minnesota Twins, who ended their streak of 18 straight playoff losses last season when they beat the Jays. 18 straight. Longest streak in the history of North American sports there for the Twins. Yikes.
At least they're going to the playoffs. Not losing 121 games. All right, Teddy.
The NASCAR race yesterday at Talladega Superspeedway had a yikes moment. They had one of the biggest crashes in modern history. Yikes. Nearly 30 cars were involved in the wreck. Yikes. The 28-car pileup is the largest crash statistically recorded by NASCAR. Yikes. The previous high had been a 27-car crash. This wreck happened with just 4 laps left in the race. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he would go on to win the race, but yikes.
We saw something yesterday we've never seen before. 2 100-yard defensive touchdowns scored in the same week. Yikes. Seahawks safety Rayshon Jenkins recovered a fumble 2 yards deep in his own end zone, ran it back 102 yards against the Giants. Minutes later, in the Bronco-Raider game, Pat Surtain picked off Gardner Minshew. On the goal line, took it back 100 yards. Those were the 2 longest touchdowns of the day, and they came courtesy of the defense. Yikes.
Folks, welcome to the age of the gun dance. Maybe you guys missed this, but there were 2 cases in college football this weekend Players made a play and celebrated by simulating either brandishing a weapon or straight up firing a machine gun right at the player. Yikes. South Carolina's Dylan Stewart sacked Ole Miss's Jackson Dart, got up and peppered him with machine gun fire or a pump shotgun maybe. Yikes. And a critical penalty occurred on the final drive of the USC-Minnesota game where the Gophers' Justin Wally broke up a pass, then raised his shirt to simulate the gun in his waistband. The ref said basically that's what it was verbatim. Now, you could debate it. It gave USC a free first down and a chance to win. Earlier this year, Drake London of the Falcons was flagged when he appeared to spray an imaginary machine gun into the crowd. What are we doing? Yikes.
Boise State running back Ashton Agenti, he had quite a yikes season so far. He surpassed 1,000 yards rushing on just 90 carries in his 5th game of the season. Yikes. He's averaging 10.9 yards per carry and has 16 touchdowns. Yikes. He's currently the new favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, and Boise State, they could well be on their way to the playoffs as their only loss was 37-34 to Oregon. Now, in that game, he had 192 yards rushing and added 3 touchdowns. Yikes.
Aliza is 26 years old. She lives in England. She crashed her Ford into a tree over the weekend. When police arrived on the scene, she was hiding behind some bushes. She sheepishly came out and apologized. When tested, it was revealed that she was 3 times over the legal limit. Yikes. Aliza has had this happen a total of 3 times now, one other for booze, the other one for being under the influence of marijuana. That's all not good, but you know what's even worse? She's the director of a drug and alcohol charity.
Oh.
Yikes. She's been banned from driving for 40 months and must receive counseling from the very charity she is the head of. The very pants I was returning. Yikes.
The very charity I direct. Here's a yikes where the sound effect could be perfect. Actor Andrew Garfield told this story recently about a sex scene he had to film with co-star Florence Pugh. And I've always wondered about how you keep composure and pull this off in Hollywood. I've wondered that my entire life. But it seems in this particular case, Garfield admits they just kept going with the scene long after they had what they needed. Yikes. He said this was a closed set, just the 2 of them and a cameraman. That's it. And he said, we got going, and we wind up going a little bit further than we meant to because we never heard cut. And after a while, he looked up, and the cameraman had his back turned in the corner, waiting for them to finish. Yikes.
Imagine how that camera guy felt, too. He's like, should I just leave now?
They're just going and going and going.
I mean, it's probably not the cameraman's not the director.
No, he's not the director. The director's in the other room.
Excuse me, can you stop rubbing and
Andrew
full of friction with each other?
Andrew and Florence.
Thank you.
This scene's been over for 10 minutes.
All right, Teddy.
The Bills, they had some bad clock management in their loss to the Texans yesterday. Tied at 20, they were pinned back at their 3-yard line with just 32 seconds left in the game. They threw 3 incompletions and had to punt with 16 seconds on the clock. Yikes. The Texans then got the ball back with 7 seconds left at the Bills' 46. They picked up 5 yards, took a timeout with 2 seconds left, then kicked the game-winning 59-yard field goal. Bills clock management, you get a big yikes.
I'll tell you what, man.
It is egregious.
That was absolutely terrible.
Unbelievable.
You had both ends of the spectrum yesterday. You had Zach Taylor calling 3 run plays.
Right.
In overtime, let's do nothing to get some yards. And then you had that situation. You got to play for overtime, homie. You're on your own 4-yard line. What the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
Especially in today's day and age where you throw 1 7-yard completion, then your kicker comes out for a 58-yard field goal and nails it.
Exactly. It's just not going to happen if you're settling for that and you have plenty of time to do more.
Ridiculous.
It's not how it works.
The Bills want to win the Super Bowl. You got to be smarter than that. That's stupid. Bad injury news for the Bengals. Details next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at a 5-minute delay if you're on westbound 670 between 71 and 3rd Street. And traffic is moving slowly on eastbound 70 on the east side between James Road and 270. About a 10-minute delay there. This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled.
He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here.
Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for, it's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. Thanksgiving's coming up fast. So while you're counting your blessings, why not add a thankful 30 to the list? With Awaken 180 weight loss, you could drop 30 pounds by Thanksgiving, or even 40 if you get the same results I did. I dropped my first 30 pounds in just over a month, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. Imagine this. While everyone else is debating the play calling in the big games, you're sitting at the dinner table feeling lighter, more energetic, and thankful for the 30 pounds no longer holding you back. If I can drop 55 pounds with Awaken 180, I know you can hit the thankful 30 by Turkey Day. It's simple. It's laid out for you. And as you all know by now, it doesn't include a lifetime of medications. That's why I chose Awaken 180. Be thankful this year by dropping your 30 or more pounds. Head to awaken180weightloss.com and reserve your consultation today. It's fast, proven, and as you all know, the weight will stay off thanks to free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
It's officially hockey o'clock. The Jackets open up the regular season against the Wild. Live fan coverage starts Thursday night at 7:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your home of the Blue Jackets. The Fan.
If your air conditioning or furnace stops working in the middle of the night, on a weekend, or over a holiday, there's no reason to wait to get it fixed. For 100 years, Atlas Butler has been here for your family. We're always open, we work on all furnace and air conditioner brands, and it's easy and convenient to request service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
With surgery and drugs being the main options to treat chronic joint pain, that left orthopedic surgeons like Dr. Ray Tessner thinking,
geez, wouldn't it be nice if we can have another form of treatment that eliminates some of the downside and has a bigger upside as we learn more about it?
And then he found it. Regenerative medicine, an exciting, fast-growing approach to dealing with pain using healing agents from your own body.
Well, it's using the miracle benefits of the human body to help encourage healing.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving patients lasting relief from joint pain in their knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Finally, options other than surgery and steroids. All natural regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. Learn more. Call today for your free consultation.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Your small business can save big with the SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com. That's 844-MEDOhio.com. Anthem's SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com.
It's almost football Friday, all play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Dumb is the only language these two are fluent in. You're listening to Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Timmy's here. Teddy's here. Bone is back from his clan meeting tomorrow.
I'm excited to see him.
Join us for that.
I'm excited to see Bone.
Monday Night Football tonight. Saints at the Chiefs. Just one game, 8 o'clock here on The Fan. Travis Kelce has not scored a touchdown this year, and it's all because of Taylor Swift. It's because Travis Kelce is too obsessed with the limelight and Taylor Swift. Or
he's 36.
Right. I love
he's been covered.
They haven't
Plays
looked,
haven't opened up
great.
the right
They
way.
still have not lost a game.
Right. They haven't gotten Travis Kelce a touchdown yet. They've lost Rashee Rice, who has looked like this incredible fancy new weapon for them. He's gone. He's out for the year.
Lost a game yet.
Mahomes injured him. That's the craziest thing about it. How'd you tear your ACL? Yeah, my quarterback ran into me. He took me out. Oh, that's too
Speaking
bad.
of ACL, bad news for the Bengals. Dax Hill, ACL.
Well, I mean,
dead.
That is too bad. I feel for him, but their defense has much bigger problems than him.
No, I know that.
They're just
But he's actually been one of the steady Eddies on defense, and now he's gone for the season.
I'll tell you what stings Cincy is how Cam Taylor-Britt, their cornerback, who was the guy that opened his mouth about Jaden Daniels being in a basic college offense, ever since that, he's just been burnt toast every single game. He's been awful. They can't stop anybody. You scored 38 points in the National Football League and managed to lose at home. Congrats.
Elsewhere around the league, Vikings are 5-0 after beating the Jets in London. I think the Vikings are real. I was actually talking to my daughter about this yesterday because she was watching and said, were the Vikings supposed to be good? And I said, well, not really. You know, this guy that's playing quarterback for them right now, he was not their plan. They went out and drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round for a reason. He was going to be their starting quarterback. Don't believe anything that comes out of their mouth that says otherwise.
Absolutely.
Sam Darnold was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And he's playing like an MVP. Now, yesterday was his worst game of the season, and he was still pretty damn good.
Yeah, he actually was only 14 for 31.
And he came into that game, though, the leader in completion percentage in the NFL.
Yeah, but I was going to say at the same time, look at what, five-time MVP, Aaron Rodgers? Who cares how many he's won? I like watching the Jets falter now because of him. He's not my guy. But Aaron Rodgers had 54 pass attempts in that football game, 29 of 54. And he had 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic. So you're looking at a Minnesota team that has an opportunistic defense. They are a playmaking defense. And until this game, now the Jets statistically do have one of the better defenses. So you were going to be prepared for Sam Darnold to not have 300 yards and 3 touchdown passes and no picks. But you know what? You did enough. Your defense helped win you this football game, and now you're 5-0.
Aaron Rodgers is not bad, but he's at the stage of his career right now where he's a jag. He's never been that before. He's just a guy.
He could be.
He is.
He could be.
He's just a guy. And you know what? The thing on him right now is that if you blitz the hell out of him, he can't do anything in that pocket.
Yeah.
You know, and even yesterday, he took another big shot because he failed to read a blitz at the line of scrimmage. That is something that would never happen before.
The man won't get an upgraded helmet either to save his life. He's got that same model helmet from the early 2000s with the thin chin strap. But I won't write him off just yet as long as he's still playing because he's been so good.
He's just a guy.
Coming off of injury. But yes, right now, to your point, he does look like that.
Jags beat the Colts for their first win of the season. That was one hell of a football game, if you weren't paying attention to that, and why would you? But
no.
I thought the Colts were going to get it done because of
Flacco, my Cracko.
But it wasn't to be.
He had 359 and 3 touchdowns.
But he did make some good throws, and he was running a little bit in that game, too. They got the next-gen stats, right?
He had 3 carries for 22 yards. He's making plays with his legs. Joe's got moves.
One of the runs that Joe Flacco made was like 18-point-something miles per hour. They said it was the fastest of his career.
I bet it was.
He's bebopping and scatting.
Did he have more rushing yards yesterday than Deshaun?
Probably. Broncos beat the Raiders.
Bo Nix is yelling at Sean Payton.
I'm only bringing this up to you. I don't know what the Broncos are. They're probably not very good. But I don't understand how you have access to those uniforms every single week.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't wear them.
Yeah, they're great.
Look, maybe this is just misplaced nostalgia, although I'm not a Bronco fan. I don't really care.
Neither am I.
But just seeing those uniforms in practice, they are breathtaking. Aren't they?
Yeah.
I turned on the game.
Think they are.
And I physically went, oh, it's so nice. It's so pretty.
I just see Steve Atwater just
I was going to go Carl Mecklenburg.
Mecklenburg? Oh, I see Randy Gradishar, an Ohio State
They're
great.
Just so beautiful.
Oh, they're so fantastic. I'm 100% with you. I don't know why the Rams wouldn't wear their classic unis, the blue and the yellow, which is essentially what they're wearing now, but I wish they would just go.
It's not the same.
It's different. They've modernized it. Why do that? Just wear the classics. They're great. They're phenomenal. And it's too bad we don't have the Houston Oilers. But you know what? That's a losing argument. We can't do anything about that.
49ers are the kings of losing games they look like they're running away with. They lost again yesterday to the Cardinals. They had one of those against the Rams earlier this season. Seahawks were 3-0, now not. They're 3-2 after losing to the Giants. And Daniel Jones had another kind of good game. So
he did have a good game.
I don't know what that means unless you're playing the Seahawks and the Browns.
And they
won, but they won the game.
Well, you saw the winning play, right, where they were able to get the legal hop over the line of scrimmage on a field goal attempt, and they blocked it. A perfect bounce, and they took it to the house to get that 29-20 score.
Cowboys beat the Steelers last night after a weather delay. Teddy, excited about your guys? That's a big road win for you, Teddy.
That was a heck of a game. The Steelers obviously tremendous defense, and the Cowboys were able to survive on that.
What was CeeDee Lamb? Everybody was making a big deal about that on social media, that we're all supposed to be able to read lips. What was the issue with CeeDee Lamb and Dak on the sideline?
I don't know. Obviously, there was some confusion on the interception that he threw down at the goal line when he's trying to get to CeeDee. And some people were thinking that CeeDee was upset with Dak. Yeah. And other people were saying, no, he was just saying, hey, just throw the ball up to me, So
let's make him upset. Let's say CeeDee was saying, hey, man, you suck.
Okay, sure.
You're trash.
I'd rather have Bryce Young as my quarterback.
That's what he said.
Bad injury news for the Jackets. Details next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got some slow-moving traffic that's causing a 10-minute delay on eastbound 70 on the east side between James Road and 270. And you're looking at a 5-minute slowdown on westbound 670 from 71 to 315. And there's another 10-minute delay on northbound 71 on the north side from East Broad Street to 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $300 cash bonus when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free for more details.
At Baths R Us, we're terrible roofers. We stink at installing siding. And don't ever call us for your kitchen remodel. But if you want a stunning, beautiful bathroom makeover in just 2 or 3 days, now that's when you want to call us. See, unlike most contractors these days, we offer only one service, bathroom remodeling. We don't spread ourselves thin by doing roofing or siding and a bunch of other stuff. Nope. At Baths R Us, we dedicate every company resource into mastering the craft of bath transformations. It's why we're the Midwest's biggest 5-star family-owned bathroom company. And it's why we have the happiest customers. Just check out our Google reviews. Baths R Us. We're terrible roofers, but we're awesome bathroom remodelers. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loan to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Gambling too much? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Mary Heben, where we offer in-person, virtual, and group options. We're here for you no matter what, and that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Go to maryhaven.com today.
I'll
be honest, I'm really worried about my kids and grandkids. I never thought we'd be facing a national abortion ban in this country.
That's Kim. She lives in Cincinnati and is a grandma to 6.
If something happened to my family, I'd want them to have all the help they need. But with a national ban, they'll have nowhere to turn.
Bernie Moreno supports a national abortion ban, and he has said he is 100% against abortion with no exceptions. And if Moreno's in the Senate, he could be the deciding vote to pass a national abortion ban.
Last year, we voted to protect abortion in Ohio. Now, Bernie Moreno wants to get rid of that completely. It's simple. I don't trust Bernie Moreno to do what's right for my family. He should never be Ohio's senator.
Your Community PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Your Community PAC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Learn more at yourcommunitypac.org.
Replace your heating and cooling system with Logan Services. Get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying Train system. It's hard to stop a train. Find us online and schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services,
No,
even
but-
for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye.
No, but-
Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Right now, save up to $250 on Cooper tires, and shocks and struts are buy 3, get 1 free.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Baseball playoffs, top of the 4th inning in Cleveland. Guardians and Detroit Tigers are scoreless in their divisional series. Cleveland won the opening game over the weekend. Game 2 of the other American League divisional series is tonight with Kansas City at New York. The Yankees will pitch Carlos Rodon against Cole Reagans of the Royals. New York won the opening game. Both National League series will resume tomorrow. Philadelphia and New York to face the Mets, and the LA Dodgers and San Diego. Each of those series tied at 1-1. The Dodgers with injury concerns about first baseman Freddie Freeman. He left last night's game with an ankle injury. NFL tonight, the unbeaten Kansas City Chiefs play host to the 2-2 New Orleans Saints. You can hear that game tonight right here on The Fan. This update brought to you by Roosters, who's giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, a trip to a postseason game, and more. Register today at roosterswings.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are you fired up? Is it Monday? It must be Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Uncomfortably talking about food.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
This is Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Timmy's here. Teddy's here. And then there's me. Common Man's my name.
You are the straw. Stirring it up.
If you say so. Fish has just handed me the plug sheet for tomorrow. Would you like to hear Anthony Schlegel on Morning Juice?
Yes.
Well, good news. You can at 6:33 tomorrow morning.
Get you going.
Bishop and Friends will have Tuesdays with our buddy Dom Taberry at 10:33.
Wonderful.
The Ryan Day press conference comes your way at noon. And then you're going to be hosting the Buckeye show with Tyvis tomorrow.
That's right.
My guy.
That's right. A big show tomorrow. And while you're there, I'm excited because the Buckeye show is going out and about
tomorrow
for the first time.
Where are you going?
Not tomorrow, Thursday. So kind of get you ready for this. You got a couple more days. Thursday from 6 to 8, we'll be at Cardo's in Pickerington Pizza Tavern. It looks phenomenal. I haven't been there yet myself, but Cardo's, their pizza, I'm sure people that live out there
I don't
go
think
there
I've had it.
frequently.
I got to look it up now.
It looks divine, as Tyvis would say. Take a look at that. Tavern-style pizza, obviously, because it's Cardo's Pizza Tavern in Pickerington.
On Lockbourne Road?
Yep, we'll be there doing the Buckeye show Thursday night, right at 6 o'clock. So come out, say hi, watch the show.
I'm looking at pictures of it.
Doesn't it look great?
Looks pretty delicious.
Yeah, look at that pepperoni and sausage. Oh, my God.
You know what? It looks like they do a good job on their undercarriage.
They do.
Which I
they
like.
Do.
Just judging
from
the pictures
well
that I'm
done.
seeing here. Yes.
The crust looks a little bit crispy and well done. I appreciate that.
I like that.
I cannot wait to have one of those. Tyvis, I'm going to eat a whole pie myself. You're on your own.
Blue Jackets open up the season on Thursday. And what a season it's going to be, kids. I mean, you have obviously all the unpleasantness that's been around this team with the Johnny and Matthew situation. You have just a historically bad team anyway that's switching coaches and is in disarray. Now Boone Jenner is dead. Boone Jenner, poor choice of words by me. You know what I mean. Hurt himself in practice. I guess he hit the boards. He missed something, fell, hit the boards. They're saying he's going to be out for a while. Certainly, he's not
what you want to see.
Not going to be there on Thursday.
Right before the season. No.
Voronkov, they put on IR as he deals with something. Now, the Blue Jackets also have said this year that they're not going to give timetables for returns. So you're not going to get like a 4 to 6 weeks because apparently that's just too much information and we don't know what to do with it. But I saw that Gavin Brindley also broke his finger. Now, he was not going to do anything. He was going to compete for a roster spot, but that's just somebody else who had an opportunity to make this team goes down with an injury. So Don Waddell goes out this weekend and picks up a couple jabronis who've been around for 100 years. But who is it, Teddy? Matt LeBlanc?
LeBlanc, yeah, Matt LeBlanc.
Who is
Kevin.
it from Friends?
Kevin, yeah.
LeBanc.
Yeah.
Huh?
LeBanc.
LeBanc, not LeBlanc. LeBanc.
LeBanc.
Yeah.
Or Joey.
Put it in the bank.
Whatever. This is not going to be a good hockey team, kids. I mean, I hope that they exceed expectations. I hope that Elvis figures out how to stop a puck every now and then because it'd be good for the city. It's good, obviously, for the guys on the team to have success. But just looking at this roster.
Yeah, this was going to be a transitional season anyway, right? Like if we're just talking about the hockey, you're having a new head coach come in here. You finally showed Yarmo the door. You've got a new general manager that's in place that's going to be, drafting players for this team for the foreseeable future and putting things in motion. And it was going to be tough. It was going to be tough anyway. And now what happened, and you got some injuries to some key players. Just it's more adversity. It's more adversity, and you just want to see a hockey club that actually plays together and
you can play
for each other
and play for
each
other.
Best that they can.
But
it's a tough situation. I mean, it's
also the possibility you're just not any good.
There is that possibility.
One of my favorite quotes of all time is, everybody wants to say, oh, you got to get a fiery coach. You got to fire up the talent. Well, sometimes if you fire up crap, all you get is warm crap.
Yes, that's true.
You can be playing with passion and conviction and have the best intentions in the world, but you go out there and you're simply not talented enough to compete at the highest level.
You have to have good players, and it's one thing if we talk about culture all the time, right? It becomes, and if you're talking about your culture maybe too much, then I guess that is telling as far as the talent and the skill that you possess. Maybe you could make that argument. You want to see great players on this team. They don't have a ton of them on paper now on the roster. You're going to be focusing a lot on guys like Zach Werenski, the guys that have been here, who are some of the better players, to try to carry these guys, but it's going to be a tall order.
Season opens up on Thursday. Where are they?
At Minnesota.
At Minnesota, that's right.
At the Wild. So there you go, Dean Evison.
According to a recent study by Forbes, where they collected data from the months of June to July of this past year, Ohio has the second best drivers in the nation.
Not from the footage I've seen.
Ohio reported a low percentage of texting and driving.
Reported.
What does that mean?
Yeah, reported.
Speeding 10 to 19 miles per hour over the speed limit and low rate of changing lanes without using turn signals. That's because we just park in a lane and stay there and frustrate everybody who's trying to get past you.
I love that. Congratulations for speeding 19 miles an hour over the limit. God, isn't that an automatic ticket if a cop is feeling like it?
No, they're not reporting that.
Oh. I thought you said...
To the extent of other states.
I got you.
They're not reporting. And by reporting, they're asking drivers, do you do this? See, I think the real headline should be, Ohio, second best liars in the nation.
Right. Because we're all doing it.
We're all lying. Well, I'm not doing it. First of all, I am speeding. But I'm never texting and driving.
Only on the highways, though.
Sometimes I just speed through the residential neighborhoods, too, and take some kids out.
Right. 25 miles an hour.
Come on.
Why not 50?
No, of course not. You don't do that.
Hey, everybody on my street, which is 35 miles an hour, just likes to go double that limit. Sometimes I'll see guys going 80, 90 miles an hour.
I'll tell you what.
On the straightaway.
I live in a little tiny neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where there's nowhere else you're going. You're just in the neighborhood.
Right.
It's not like you're cutting to go someplace else.
You're home.
And it's a 25 in there. And there are cars that'll go 40 down there.
Yeah. Oh, that's
the school bus will go 40.
Yeah, school buses
there
do roll, don't they? Some of these school buses.
Good time.
My God. I hope a kitten doesn't run out into the road. You're going to hear some tires screeching, and there's going to be problems.
The next best state, Tennessee ranked as the best state overall for the best drivers. Then it's Ohio. Then it's Pennsylvania and Florida. Again, Florida is on the list of good drivers? What the hell are we talking about?
That's where everybody goes when they're old.
They ask all the senile people, like, I'm sure they don't text and drive. They're also blind as a bat.
Yeah, the blindness makes up for the lack of texting.
The states with the worst drivers include Hawaii, Oregon, and New Mexico. Or they're just very truthful in those states.
What is the worst move that Ohio drivers hit you with? Like, what's the move that gets you
It's drivers everywhere.
Others?
This is not an Ohio problem. This is a people problem. This is a human being problem. And my issue is that we don't shame these people enough. They keep making these car horns softer. We should make them so loud.
Oh, I agree.
That blood shoots out of your ears.
This has been a thing for me forever. The fact that there's something about the horn where we're not even allowed to communicate with each other when you're just sitting there at a green light and we can't even so much as give you the friendly little bup. Like, let's go.
Really,
see, you're on your phone. It's okay. You're at the red light.
I can understand how you get distracted at a red light.
I get it too.
Right?
We've all been there.
You take out the phone. Maybe you're flipping through the radio, whatever the hell you're doing. I get it. We've all been there. We've all snoozed.
But take a little
before.
Bup.
That doesn't bother me as much as people just refusing to do things. Like refusing to turn on red. That's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a I forgot or I wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice.
Right.
Refusing to pull up in the intersection when you're making a left turn at a light.
But refusing to turn on red, that's not knowing how to drive.
That's my point.
Because you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it to keep the flow of traffic going.
You're also supposed to pull up into the intersection.
Right.
On a left-hand turn. People who also don't know how to use a roundabout. This isn't 20 years ago where you just saw maybe one. There's roundabouts all over the place now.
There's nothing like when a roundabout goes into a new neighborhood and people are unfamiliar with it, stay away for a while.
Just this weekend, I'm waiting to go into the roundabout because you're yielding to your left, right? There is a woman in the roundabout
stopping for you
who stops and she's waving me in. That's not the way this works,
and there's two lanes, and the other lane's not going to be stopping to let you in, so you're going to go in there from her goodwill and you're going to get smashed. You can't just accept that. Yes, there's nothing that I hate more than when someone stops when it's not your right of way to try to let you in, when there's other traffic that they can't control. No,
you're not being nice. You're being part of the problem. You're going to cause an accident because you're nice.
Yeah, you can't control what's in that other lane. Someone else can just keep flying on through, and then I'll get T-boned. T-bone. Yeah, I want to get T-boned.
Fat Boy Food Tap. Coming up next, Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got a couple minutes slowdown if you're on eastbound 33 between 270 Southeast and Ebright Road. And keep an eye out for a disabled vehicle that's on the left shoulder of eastbound 670 after Neal Avenue. This report is sponsored by Z-Bart. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bart undercoating for $2.99. And fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with Rhino Lining Spray-On Bed Liner starting at $4.99. Z-Bart, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. It seems like everything we hear these days is about political races, and yet there's a far more important race that you run for yourself every day. It's the race to be the best that you can be. But if your libido is low, if your workouts aren't productive, if you've got brain fog and you're tired all the time, you may feel like you're losing that race, and maybe even that your best days are behind you. But the truth is that they're likely not, because if you're feeling like this, it's probable you're simply suffering from low testosterone, a condition that affects a huge percentage of men as we age. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating low T. We've successfully treated thousands of men for the condition, and if you're like most guys, you'll start seeing results in just a few weeks. Better sleep patterns, higher energy, improved mental clarity, more productive workouts, and your libido will likely increase as well. So get back to winning your race by calling us. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Bo Bishop here for my friends at Diamond Cellar. Ready to pop the question but don't know where to start? Visit Diamond Cellar's After Hours on October 17th for a night out with a DJ, drinks, and exclusive discounts on engagement rings, and a chance to win OSU or CBJ tickets. Diamond Cellar's After Hours event, October 17th on Sawmill Road.
Columbus, the wait is over. Blue Jackets hockey is back. Come feel the boom all season long. Be here Tuesday, October 15th for the home opener, presented by Nationwide. Get your tickets today at BlueJackets.com. We have a lot of football happening. I'm here to help. Set your radio preset to the Fan. Very good. Now set the second one to ESPN Columbus. It's the HD2 button. Lastly, go to the Fan's HD3 and save the Fan 3. Crisis averted. You're welcome.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled. He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here. Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for? It's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair and hello to thick, healthy hair with hair volume from New Nordic.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine, but still a little on the cool side this Monday. Temperatures in the upper 60s, down to the low 40s when you wake up Tuesday morning, but back up to around 70 degrees with plenty of sunshine by Tuesday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Off topic is on brand. This is Man and Bone.
Bone and I do all our banging at Hollywood Casino Columbus, specifically the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I do know that Bone and I will be there broadcasting the show live Friday from 3 to 6. So stop on by and see us.
Another one.
It's the place to be, baby, as we get ready for the big foosball game the next day out west.
Oh, yeah.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Timmy's here.
Yeah. I did some banging there this weekend. And you know which one got me?
What?
Alabama.
Yeah?
Alabama prevented me from banging. I had a beautiful parlay that I can't say it was 100%, but you just assume that was the throw-in game, you know?
Yeah.
To increase the slip a little bit. I had all the difficult ones. I had Ohio State on the cover. I had the under, just like I gave the advice here. They covered and the under hit.
All you needed was Alabama to take care of business.
Yeah, Indiana on a point spread at Northwestern, and Alabama screwed me.
Indiana.
It's a gamble.
Indiana's moving the football, man.
Oh, man.
I don't know if they're any good, but
so
their schedule lends to a good record.
Mentioned this in the 3 o'clock hour when we were talking college football, and then we might have gotten off track. But looking at Indiana and their schedule, like you just mentioned, there are some people now that are starting to wonder if they can make it to the Ohio State game, game 10 for the Buckeyes, with Indiana being unblemished. Could you imagine if they're undefeated coming in here to the shoe?
Fat Boy Food Tap.
Common Man and T-Bone have very little value unless they're telling you about all the crap they can shove in your mouth so you can die quicker. It's time for Fat Boy Food Tip. Wait, how do you want me to say it? Tip. This is dumb. I quit.
All right, a couple things from me. Chicken Big Mac is officially coming to you on Thursday. So if you're excited about that like I am, 2 McChicken patties inside a Big Mac, how can that be bad if you're a fan of that stuff, which I am? And Popeyes is doing a new version of their chicken sandwich.
Do tell.
I say this as a person who loves Popeyes, but this is something that just pisses me off. They're calling it the Ghost Pepper Chicken Sandwich. This is a term we use all the time. Ghost pepper. Let me tell you something.
It's not ghost pepper.
If you advertise ghost pepper, I want something that melts my face. Like the last scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I want a face melt sandwich. Instead, here's the press release. It has just the right kick to make your taste buds tingle without overwhelming the senses. This sandwich is scary good, but not scary spicy. God forbid we actually give spicy fans something to get at these restaurants.
It actually says those exact words.
Yes, those exact words in the press release.
It basically tells you how not spicy it is. Why am I getting that?
Stop with the ghost pepper crap.
It can't be ghost pepper. Well, what is there, a mild ghost pepper that exists? That's supposed to be one of the hottest things on the spectrum. Like when you go to Hot Chicken Takeover, they have levels now, and through the years, they've actually expanded their heat levels. So there are things they have, like the cold is what their just plain original recipe for fried chicken is. It's still good, too. It's just doesn't have the kick. But if you want to have your face melted off, they have a spice level that will do that for you. It'll give you Raiders of the Lost Ark, dude with the glasses, right, who melts into a skeleton. It'll do that for you.
Also, Popeyes from October 7th. Hey, that's today. It's the 31st. By the way, this ghost pepper sandwich available starting now. Popeyes also launching a Chick or Treat. Get it? Chicken.
And what's that one?
Chick or Treat promotion where in any purchase of $5 or more entitles the customer to a free chocolate chip biscuit.
Chocolate chip biscuit?
Chocolate chip biscuit.
Okay.
Whether you place the order in-store, online, or within the Popeyes app. You just have to opt into the promotion to receive the giveaway. There's also 2 new seasonal drinks available, apple cranberry tea and apple cranberry lemonade. There you go. There's your Popeyes update for you.
Let me tell you something that I have been getting down on when we do our watch parties. You mentioned that you guys are going to be doing the show out there on Friday.
Hollywood Casino.
Now, I want to warn you guys, I am not sure if this is a Friday thing because it's sort of a secret type of deal where some weeks I will see a placard on the tables that are in the ESPN Bet area.
Off menu?
Well, some weeks there's a thing there that advertises the price. But on Saturday, when we were there for our watch party, I didn't see any of those placards, but the deal did still exist. I'm talking like a Del Boca Vista Saturday game day early bird steak special. They have in that lounge where the ESPN Bet Sportsbook is, where we have our little setup and do our shows and do our watch parties, a $14 steak meal. Yes, a 12-ounce sirloin, mashed potatoes, and then your vegetable of choice.
How much?
$14.
That's pretty damn good, $14.
Pretty damn good. Best I ever heard.
Well, let's just say, did you eat it?
Yes.
And it was good.
Very good.
So it's not like you get, 2 ounces of meat, the rest is grizzle.
A 12-ounce sirloin.
Yeah.
Really
That's
good.
a good deal.
Amount of food. And even if you get it after 4, I think the price escalates to $17.99.
Man, but then Jack Klompus judges you.
Must be nice to come after 4 o'clock and have an $18 steak.
That's a pretty good deal.
Really good deal. Here's another thing that you and I get a little excited about this time of year. One is when we see that first 59-degree day.
We haven't
the weather.
seen that yet.
I do see next Monday there's a chance we got a high of 60. So I'm excited about that. And maybe we have a low of 39 degrees this week. We're going to go outside and celebrate if we hit that. But this time of year, as the calendar turns from October to November, QVC will run this little Lindt Lindor assorted chocolate deal. You guys know the Lindt Lindors, the truffles, the famous colored truffles,
Frankie
all
Lindor.
Different flavors. Yeah, Frankie Lindor. He's up there right now, the tape of their game. I mean, these are some of the best chocolates money can buy, mass distributed. They are fantastic. I'm talking $61 shipped right to your door for a 150 count. Assorted chocolates.
Good deal.
You open those things up.
Who turned you onto that deal?
You.
That's right.
Those are the kind of chocolates where you don't even have to do anything.
Can I tell you something?
You don't even have to chew. You just put them in.
I've been to all sorts of fancy chocolate places, like Artisan. They're sourcing the beans. Okay?
Yeah.
I've been there.
Whatever.
I've had good chocolate. It's been very good.
Mm-hmm.
Europe, I've been there. I've had chocolate from all around the world.
I've visited chocolatiers in Paris.
I'm just saying. I've been there. I've tried everything that's really expensive. My wife likes to try this stuff. We've had it shipped to us. All of that. I'm telling you right now, I have yet to have a better piece of chocolate for my money than a Lindt Lindor truffle. I love them.
What's your flavor?
Can I tell you what secretly is my favorite? My wife judges me for this.
You gotta love that white chocolate.
That's right.
You gotta love
Let me tell you something. If
chocolate,
you're
Jayson
if
Williams.
you're a white chocolate guy or gal, they make one hell of a white chocolate. And if you chew these things, you're an animal. Like Timmy just said, you pop that ball in your mouth, you just sort of roll it around in there, and you let that thing liquefy, and then the chocolate magma comes right down your gullet.
You tongue it.
My
right?
God.
You have to
Delicious.
give it some tongue action.
There's only one thing I'm mad at them for. Years ago, they haven't had it in like 5-6 years. They used to do a peanut butter truffle, and now it's gone.
Oh, man, it's like a bucket.
It's
like
gone.
the Buckeye.
And it was so good. They do an almond butter now, which is not the same. For some reason, they got rid of the peanut butter truffle.
I need to see all the flavors in front of me. I need a list.
But I'm serious. If you're a white chocolate person, you got to get their white chocolate truffle.
I'll look at the list of flavors next. There's a lot of good ones.
Jason's Beef with our guy Jayson Stark coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to hit some stop-and-go traffic that's causing a 10-minute delay if you're on northbound 315 between 161 and 270 on the North Outer Belt. And there's a 5-minute delay on northbound 270 on the West Outer Belt from Tuttle Crossing Boulevard to 33. And there's a couple minutes slowdown if you're on westbound 670 from Grandview Avenue to I-70. This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil change anxiety and breathe in automotive peace. Visit them today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU. BMIFCU.org/Visa.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6%. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about $10,000 in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
A.J. Hawk won a national title, a Super Bowl, and a Lombardi Award, but his weekly appearance on Morning Juice Fridays at 8:33 is the real highlight of his career. If he tells you otherwise, he's lying.
Sponsored by FanDuel.
The Fan.
Question for you. Would you rather pay $150 a month or $15 a month to work out with the same high-quality gym equipment? At Planet Fitness, you can get top-tier equipment for $15 a month. Plus, save $28 or more when you join now during our Strong Choice sale. Our weights weigh the same, you just don't pay the same. Enjoy free fitness training and 24-hour access at most clubs, all in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6%. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about $10,000 in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Attention, small business or sole proprietors. Do you want to save money on health care for your business? Be able to cover your employees with the best dental, doctors, and hospitals? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for the SACA Benefit Plan. Nearly 100,000 members strong in the state of Ohio. The SACA Benefit Plan is administered by Anthem and could be right for you. Small businesses, visit 844-medohio.com. That's medohio.com. The SACA Benefit Plan could be right for you. Visit 844-medohio.com.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
He likes baseball. He likes solar eclipses. He likes Shohei Ohtani. But he loves roast beef sandwiches. It's time for Jason's Beef with everyone's favorite baseball writer, podcaster, author, and former mustache owner, Jayson Stark.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on Trane air conditioners.
There is not a Hall of Fame that Jayson Stark is not a member of. He joins us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Hello, my friend.
There's so many Hall of Fames that I'm not a member of, but I'm good. How are you?
We'll get there.
None that matter.
Right? None that matter. That's right.
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll go with that.
Terry Francona officially introduced today to Reds fans. I had thought maybe about a month or two ago that this was a possibility, after he was sitting out for a while. Physically, he started to feel better. It's not like he's Tony La Russa age. He's only 65 years old, but I thought he'd have the itch to get back. And every Reds fan that I've talked to, Jason, is absolutely delighted with this move.
Yeah, it's huge. Have we talked about this? Because I've kind of known about this. Not that he was going to come back and manage the Reds, but that he was ready to manage somebody. Mike, I have a friend, and he's a really close friend of Tito's. And he's been telling me for months now, this guy will be managing somewhere next opening day.
Yeah.
And he didn't say might. He didn't say could. He didn't say, well, if it's the right situation. He said it like it was a fact. Okay, so I had that in my head. And then a few weeks ago, Doug Glanville and I, we had Tom Hamilton, the great voice of the Indians, on our Starkville podcast. I know that he and Tito are also very tight. So I told Tom about my friend and my friend's prediction and said, hey, Tom, what do you think? And Tom, there was this long pause, and then he said, I think you have a really smart friend. So I thought this would be a big story this winter, but obviously it didn't take that long.
Well, I assume that he's a good manager. I assume the Reds weren't the only team that were calling. I guess the question is, why did he decide to choose the Reds?
He obviously loves Goodyear, Arizona, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's the only place he wants to go for spring training, Goodyear. I think he was open to multiple jobs, but it wasn't like multiple situations had been open to him yet. But it kind of reminds me of when the Cubs had a chance to hire Joe Madden. So even though they really like Rick Renteria, out goes Rick Renteria, in comes Joe Madden. And, I don't think that David Bell deserved to be fired. I said that here. But if your team has a chance to hire Terry Francona, here's my advice. You should hire Terry Francona. He's the best manager in the sport, period. And I'm so glad he's back in the game.
Yeah, it's obviously really exciting for Reds fans to see that hire and to see Tito back in baseball. Jayson Stark is with us. Look, we got a game in the middle of the sixth right now. It's 0-0 Guards and Tigers. We got 4 ALDS series. Is there anyone that you're locked into a little bit more than the others right now?
I'm probably in the minority. The AL, I'm locked into this one, Cleveland, Detroit, because you're watching Tarek Skubal work his magic today, and I don't know anybody ever scores off that guy. But I'm also so intrigued by the whole pitching chaos plan.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of pitching chaos, but pitching chaos works if you pull the right strings, and A.J. Hinch pushes every right button.
We've talked about this before, the pitching chaos. I'm not a big fan of it. I'd like to see starting pitching go back to a semblance of what it was, even though I know that it probably will never be guys throwing 200-plus innings every single year. But John Smoltz had talked about his sort of philosophy for getting starting pitching back on the forefront, and that's the double hook. Now, if you were to tell me 20 years ago that Major League Baseball would have a clock, that Major League Baseball would ban shifts, I'd say there's no way in hell that's going to happen. Or that the DH would officially go away and that you'd be playing everybody in the league. But we're here now. We've done that. Can you see a scenario where Major League Baseball says, all right, you take your starting pitcher out of the game, you also lose your DH. That's your decision. You're going to have to deal with that the rest of the game, but we want to prioritize these starting pitchers going longer in games.
You know, you're asking that question to Mr. Double Hook, right? I didn't invent the double hook, but I did name the double hook.
Just say you invented it.
Yeah, people think I did. Look, it was an idea that was being kicked around, and I was intrigued by it. And, you know, I had somebody in Major League Baseball ask me what I thought of it. This is going back a few years now. And so we were, you know, we were going back and forth about the pros and cons, and he said to me, I'll tell you what it needs. It needs a good name, and you're just the man for the job. Okay, so I asked a lot of people. I thought about it. I couldn't come up with one, and I literally bolted that up in bed in the middle of the night. The double hook just came to me because it's got the right initials, DH. So that's how the name was born. Whether it's actually going to show up in a major league game, I have a hard time making that prediction yet. But here is where they stand on it. Trying to get starting pitchers to go deep into games is a major priority of the people who are in charge of turning baseball into a more entertaining sport. And I think their choices come down to, do we want to incentivize it? And that's what the double hook would do. Or do we want to just make a rule and say, you've got to do it? Like the pitch clock. You could incentivize pitchers to work faster, or you could just make them do it. The trouble is that passing a rule that says the pitcher has to go 6 with, other than certain exceptions, people are not on board with that. So then how are you going to incentivize it? There are a lot of people who like the idea of the double hook, and it sounds like you're one of them.
I am one of them. And I think actually this would help offense too, because I think, the more often you see a pitch, that's the problem now, is that guys aren't getting an opportunity to get a couple at bats against somebody before that bullpen opens up and someone's out there throwing 102. All of a sudden. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jason.
You're watching the Guardians in this postseason. They're not looking for any length from their starting pitchers, even when they're pitching great, because they have 5 unhittable relievers, and nobody's ever going to score.
Right.
Okay, so that's a microcosm of where the game is, and it works. And pitching chaos, look at the Tigers. Obviously, it works. They've been better doing it this way than trying to get by with traditional starting pitchers. So it works. Nobody disputes that it works, but the game is more entertaining when the hitters have a chance.
That's the thing. Look, Hack-a-Shack works too. It's just not something you want to watch on TV. This is an entertainment product, first and foremost.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And this is something that has to happen somehow. I can tell you that there's issues with the double hook that they have to address. It's like if say your starting pitcher is really bad today, okay, and he gets you down 5-1 in the second inning. Are you really going to leave him in? You probably won't. But then you're going to have a lot of blowouts because now you're playing a skater short. You're playing a hitter short. You've lost your DH. You can always put your DH in the game and do it that way. That's allowed. But I'm just saying there are issues with the double hook that nobody has quite figured out. But it's a really fun idea that, I've had Max Scherzer stop me at a ballpark and say, I love this idea. Adam Wainwright loves it that players text me and say, what can we do to make this happen? It's very rare that pitchers and hitters like an idea. This is one of them.
Well, like I told you, John Smoltz was someone who was championing this as well.
He loves it. We've talked about it. But the front offices would fight this, and they have some valid points. So it would be an interesting path to try to get there, but I would say on the other side of the next labor deal, you could see all kinds of stuff like this happening.
Jason, we appreciate it, my friend. We'll talk next week.
Sounds good, boys.
Jason's beef with our guy Jayson Stark on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Back page coming up. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to run into a slowdown due to an accident on the left shoulder of eastbound 70 on the east side after James Road. And we also have an accident that's on the right shoulder of northbound 315 after Lane Avenue. Traffic will be slow from King Avenue. This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Fashion Market at Ohio Stadium. This Thursday at Ohio Stadium Huntington Club. Tickets are available at go.osu.edu/Buckeye Fashion Market 2024.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Full inventory sale at Logan Services. Save up to $2,500 and 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. Plus, your choice of one air quality freebie. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Now, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on a water heater and water conditioning combo. Ask us about tax credits when you book your free estimate now. Logan Services.
There isn't a day that goes by that I don't appreciate what Awaken 180 has done for me. Scotty Vegas here, and since I started Awaken 180 in January, I lost and have kept off over 40 pounds. I hadn't been under 200 pounds since high school. Now I've been under 200 pounds for 5 straight months. My coach Patrick and I were laughing this week as I was telling him now in my tennis matches, instead of trying to play quick points, I have the energy to play long points and wait for my opponent to tire out. My metabolism is working the way it should now that I'm at my ideal weight. After you reach your ideal weight, Awaken 180 provides the free support for life. If you're ready to make the change and only do it once, do it. Call the long-term solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled.
He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here.
Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for, it's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with the sound of freshness, the sound of sizzle, the sound of savings. With new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items, deals for days on over 1,000 items throughout the store, plus weekly sales and My Perks for even more savings at the pump. Surround yourself with savings every time you shop. At your neighborhood Giant Eagle. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Buckeye Roundtable coming up at the top of the hour. 2 big hours. Skip Mossick, Paul Keels, Jim Lachey, and Coach John Cooper. Also scheduled to appear, a little guy named Ryan Day. So make sure to listen. They recap Iowa, look forward to Oregon. Timmy is here with me. We got baseball going on. Looked like the Guardians had a golden opportunity in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on the corners with just 1 out, but they hit into a double play.
David Fry.
Inning.
Yep.
So now we're top 7, still scoreless. Tigers, Guardians up in the land.
It's Scooble, man. This guy can pitch. What's he got, a 2.39 ERA?
No, he's awesome.
He's very, very good.
I'm just flabbergasted that the Tigers have gotten to this point. I really am.
Yeah.
If you look at who's on their roster, who's hitting. I mean, their payroll, their postseason roster payroll
under $19 million
is $18.8 million. Javi Baez is making $25 million. He's hurt. Kenta Maeda, who they went out and got in the offseason, is making $14 million as a starting pitcher. He was so awful, they left him off the postseason roster.
Crazy, right?
The guys collectively on this roster, $18.8 million.
Their highest paid guy is a rookie. Their highest paid guy on this postseason roster is a rookie. And that's where they are. It's what's cool about baseball, though, right? Like, for all the talking that we do about hoping to see salary cap floors so there can be some more consistent spending and some more fairness.
We still need to get there.
It still is applicable. Don't get me wrong, but it does give you this opportunity for some of these special kind of stories in baseball for a team like this to just rise up and have a year.
Monday Night Football tonight. Saints at the Chiefs, 8 o'clock here on The Fan. Saints started out 2-0. They've lost 2 in a row now. They're 2-2. Chiefs are undefeated. So we'll have that here. Just one Monday night game. What a concept tonight, 8 o'clock. Back page, hit it.
The Back Page. The Back Page with Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Timmy Hall.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this because we were talking about Lindor truffles a little bit earlier in the show, and we're just wondering what some of the flavors are. I can't actually tell you because I'm looking at the listing. I actually can tell you. So the 150 assorted chocolate truffle deal that I was saying that was on sale for $61 from QVC, and it's ready to ship November 11th. You see, tell them why. They have to wait till
You can't ship
later.
chocolate when it's hot,
right?
Because it'll melt. I mean, you can, but you need to have cooling packs in there, and that ups the shipping cost.
Absolutely. So just wait till later in November. Now, we are getting to be a little bit milder, so I don't know how that's going to work, but you will get milk chocolate, you'll get dark chocolate, you'll get white chocolate.
Can I tell you something else, dude?
What?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
Finish.
Stop.
No, finish.
You'll get caramel milk chocolate. Say this one for me, the stracciatella. Stracciatella, am I saying that right?
Yes.
That's good. Cheesecake. That's white chocolate shell with pie crust pieces, cheesecake flavored melting center with a hint of lemon. Oh, God. But here's the other flavors that aren't in that assortment that are also really good ones. You've got coconut. You got me a coconut cake recently. that was to die for. Something about chocolate with coconut. It is incredible. There's hazelnut. There's a vanilla. How great would that be?
I've not had the vanilla.
A classic vanilla hinted milk chocolate. And then this might be the best combo that we've got in the chocolate game. And I'll have another place to recommend, but they have a sea salt. So there's that. There's a sea salt. Now, if you're ever going down to German Village, the land of the brick roads, and you're going to do a little night out at the famous German restaurant, the Schmidt House, stop by their little fudge spot while you're waiting for your table.
Love a good fudge.
And they've got the assorted chocolates where you can get a nice white paper bag, and they're all individually wrapped. Just get yourself.
I always spend $9 million at those places.
I'll spend $45 to $50 in there easily. So get the sea salt toffee, chocolate covered toffee with sea salt. It might be the best chocolate snack.
And also get some fudge
on planet Earth.
You can't go in there without getting some fudge.
Yes, but mainly get that.
Buckeye Roundtable's next, 2 big hours. Bone is back tomorrow. Talk to you then. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to hit a 5-minute slowdown on northbound 270 on the West Outer Belt between Tuttle Crossing Boulevard and 33. And watch out for an accident that's on the left shoulder of northbound 315 after Olentangy River Road. That's causing a 5-minute delay. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lessip. Ohio Laborers would like to congratulate Member of the Week, Randy Dillard. Laborers Local 809 Steubenville. Randy is a proud retired member. Build Ohio right, build it Union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roof Revivers. Whether you need a quick repair or a full replacement, Roof Revivers has you covered. Visit roofrevivers.com today. Roof Revivers. We fix leaky roofs.
It's a Fan Action Update.
Updating the College Football National Championship odds. The Buckeyes are the favorite at plus 290, followed by Texas and Georgia both at plus 450. Alabama is plus 650, and Oregon is now 9-1. Then there's a significant drop-off. You'll find Ole Miss at 17-1, Penn State 18-1, and Miami and Tennessee are both 20-1 to win the national championship. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
I'll be honest, I'm really worried about my kids and grandkids. I never thought we'd be facing a national abortion ban in this country.
That's Kim. She lives in Cincinnati and is a grandma to 6.
If something happened to my family, I'd want them to have all the help they need. But with a national ban, they'll have nowhere to turn.
Bernie Moreno supports a national abortion ban, and he has said he is 100% against abortion with no exceptions. And if Moreno's in the Senate, he could be the deciding vote to pass a national abortion ban.
Last year, we voted to protect abortion in Ohio. Now, Bernie Moreno wants to get rid of that completely. It's simple. I don't trust Bernie Moreno to do what's right for my family. He should never be Ohio's senator.
Your Community PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Your Community PAC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Learn more at yourcommunitypac.org.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi,
I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services,
No,
even
but-
for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye.
No, but-
Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Right now, save up to $250 on Cooper tires, and Shocks and Struts are buy 3, get 1 free.
Attention, small business or sole proprietors. Do you want to save money on health care for your business? Be able to cover your employees with the best dental, doctors, and hospitals? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for the SACA Benefit Plan. Nearly 100,000 members strong in the state of Ohio. The SACA Benefit Plan is administered by Anthem and could be right for you. Small businesses, visit 844medohio.com. That's medohio.com. The SACA Benefit Plan could be right for you. Visit 844medohio.com.